Welcome back to Bridges and Breakdowns. If you are under the sound of my voice, you have returned for another week of the serious and unserious musings of your two favorite millennials, posted up at the bridge between 5 generations who love to tussle. Every episode, we take you on a journey trying to find the sweet spot of what integrates the best of what these generations have to offer. Do we build a bridge? Do we break one down? I am your co-host, Alyzza, and I am joined by
Lorryn. Hey, y'all.
Welcome back. Welcome back. It has
Welcome.
been, we'll state the obvious. It has been quite the hiatus. I think the last time we spoke to you was my birthday. And what a time that was. But you know, I'm not even going, it's very cliche to say life is lifing, but we have been cutting it close and barely making it. And we are here. And we are still joyful and have hope and are excited to have another episode with you beautiful chat members.
Right.
The Bridge and Breakdown Squad. All right. So
we gotta come up with a name because I like chat, but like, I don't know. Like, I feel like we should have some alliteration, right?
Oh,
but you know, that's just me. But I love chat.
The Bridge and Breakdown Brigade. That feels like a lot of bees.
That's a lot of words.
That's a lot of bees. Yeah, it is. It is. All right, we'll think about that. If y'all have ideas.
Send it to us, email us for real.
Or you can actually comment in on Spotify. You can actually just reply directly. And if you have not already, like, subscribe, follow on YouTube, Spotify, anywhere you get your podcast. Please, we're trying to make sure that we are staying locked in and connected to the communities.
Yes, especially because if you've read the description, you know that this is our season finale. So, you know, while we'll be gone on a much longer break, we still want to lock in. We still plan to be on social. So holla at us, you know, keep us in the loop, you know.
Between now and season 3.
Yeah, because no lie. At least I know Lisa has been thinking about it, but I've been actually putting pen to paper, which is kind of wild considering we still had to finish this season. But I have a lot of great ideas for season 3, and I already started working on them. So, so I'm excited. How are you? How are you doing? How you feeling?
Oh, man.
Back.
It has been a lot of life that has happened, I feel like, between the last time we wrapped on the mic. But girl, I cannot complain. I choose not to complain. It just is crazy that the year is packing up her things and is trying to get us into 2026. I feel like, and not even a jump to the woo girl segment, you know, because there's so much going on in the world writ large, in our country and in our respective cities of DC and Chicago.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
I had the moment this morning where I was like, oh, he's only been in office since January. Like, it's only been 10 months since we've been in this administration, and it does not feel like that at all.
No.
I feel like we are aging. It's accelerating. Like, I feel like time is just, you know, but 2025 has someplace to be. So let's just, you know, how are you? Let's talk about you. Enough about me. How about you?
Same, friend. I could complain. Did complain before we started taping, but I shook it off. But I am happy. My girls, even though I was on my Jill Biden shit, I wanted both of them to win. But my aces came back. People was talking cash shit. Now, granted, they was a little trash. Asia wasn't, which I want people to go back and look at her stats.
Yeah, I didn't think the team was going to make it to the playoffs. That was crazy. I didn't think they was going to make it to the ship.
Asia was balling like a bitch the whole season, right?
By herself.
But it's like she's only one person. And her team just sucked. But when she texted them like, hey, if y'all bitches ain't really trying to play for real, don't come to the gym. And they locked in, had a 16-win streak, and then won the goddamn swept the first few NBA seven games. Swept them.
Kathy wanted them hosts to be on.
Right. She wanted
7 big ones.
Yeah.
And Asia said, no, ma'am.
No.
We're going to wrap this up. We have places to be.
Ain't no script over here. We not the MNBA. So she said,
and for those who are not watching the visual, Lorryn has on her Las Vegas.
Oh, yeah. I'm over here punching my titties in
like
Mike. And y'all can't even see it. But yes, this is another plug. I know I feel like I say this every episode. But listen to the audio, but also turn us on. Watch us on YouTube. And put us on while you're doing chores or whatever. I mean,
we make for good company, don't we?
Right, we do. And we're beautiful. So that's like win-win, you know? But yeah, so in addition to my girls winning, even though shout out AT, I'm very, very proud of her. She led that team with no BG, no Diana Taurasi. And she got traded in. She was on the Suns last season.
Yeah, Mercury was balling.
Balling, and they collapsed, but it is what it is. And Satu crazy ass. Okay, I can keep going, but anyway, the straight stud buds is coming to WNBA. I don't know if y'all heard.
It feels like alignment. We had an episode this season where we were talking about wanting to go to the All-Star game next year, and look at the alignment. God said, so done. It will be in Chicago. So you know what? We might have to try to put this show on the road and figure out how we can be the straight. It's not stud buds. We just gonna be the power straights, The
power straights. But I feel like that's already coined, so we gotta come up with our own thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, we the power straights of we're gonna get a Twitch. Is that something that Israel said we need to have?
That's so funny. Our Gen Z nibblings have tapped in to help us reach the younger demographics, and they have some direction for us as to how we should actually build the brand and get off of just being on traditional millennial coded social media. So have to get on a Twitch stream, child. We might have to.
And then y'all can, this is one of my hobbies. I forgot to mention the hobby episode, but I'm about to get me a PS5 and start jumping in sales on GTA. So I'll also put that on the stream sometimes if y'all want, or on the Twitch. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. It's actually one of the few, I don't be on TikTok like that, but one of the few accounts I do follow is the girl who
she games,
shares herself beating up men down to the Grand Theft Auto. It's great. It's amazing.
It's so much. It's so funny. It's so funny because
oh my God,
they underestimate the fact that she be doing all the combos.
They be trying to rob her. They be trying to beat her up.
And she be pulling bazookas out there, her puss, and be lighting them up and stealing their cars too.
Yeah, it's great.
So I plan to join the girl gang, and
I love that.
I will chronicle. I got to practice because I'm not good at video games like that. I'm good at the mashing, not the whatever. So we'll be learning initially, but once I get I'm going to join the girl gang.
Stay tuned. We have lots of fun ways to engage with the platform. 26. But before we get too far into how we're doing, I want to transition it to Lorryn. How do we normally kick off our show for the new listeners?
For the new listeners that come at the season finale, after we do our little check-in, because we are long distance best friends, we do a glow and grow. Our glow and grow is, it's kind of, we have very smart listeners, but our glow is our opportunity to talk about the positives of our weeks.
Yeah.
I'm putting the S on it because it's been a minute.
Been a while. Yeah.
We get to pop our shit, big each other up, celebrate the greatness that is Lorryn and Alyzza. And then our grows are lessons, less hard lessons sometimes, but lessons that we're not taking any losses. We're not accepting defeat, but we're going to learn from it and then share. So hopefully y'all don't have to be like us.
Yeah.
Y'all can learn from our mistakes and then we can just evolve together.
You want to go first or do you want me to go?
Look at you. You knew I was going to ask you. I could go first.
Okay,
let's put me in the hot seat.
Do both of them. Do both.
Both. Damn, child. Okay. So my glow, for those of you who have been listening since the beginning, way back, actually, it was June 30th. I was chair of Black Space, which is a wonderful nonprofit that I will not go into a full spiel about right now, but we did amazing work. My term ended. I had a 3-year term that ended June 30th, but I'm still homegirls with the executive director. She came into town for a conference. We met up and we were just kind of talking about especially in this political climate.
Yeah.
A lot of the big money grants, they don't care about Black issues no more, sadly, where we used to be, moneyed and didn't have to rely heavily on our networks. We kind of have to shift it, and I'm saying we because I'm still there. I'm still Black Space. We have to shift the funding strategy. People can be scared of change and then also just trying things. So I volunteered myself to host a fundraiser here in Chicago. Because it's also our 10-year anniversary. And if you don't know, I'm the dime on my line. So I feel like it's alignment. It's 10 years.
Look at Deltas make everything about Delta. We ain't saying nothing about nobody's line. Here
Deltas do work and pop our shit, period. So I am working with a friend. Actually, a friend of the show, Miguel.
Okay.
After we reconnected or whatever, he's in finance, which we all know that. But we had an opening for one of our instructors so what we're currently doing now, which we've had a lot of different iterations for like our programming in Black Space, but we now have a business accelerator, and we have some really cool Black urbanist ventures that are in this accelerator, and they have like kind of self-selected what they wanted to learn, but we had like 5 or 6 modules, but he was the instructor for the like financing module.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I asked him if he would be willing to like kind of come out and like talk about his experience, and then he, was kind of pitching me different ideas. So it's coming together quite well. I've now thought like, maybe I need to do 2 things. So like, but I'm hoping that I can lead by example. I want more people that are on the board, but just also in general, Black people that have these nonprofits, and you might be having funding issues. Like, we should be creative.
Yeah.
Try to do, you might not want to ask everybody that to come out of pocket, which is typically what I did, but I couched it in different things. But this one, I'm trying to get somewhat of a sponsorship where we can go somewhere and get like a percentage off the bar if we just bring people in. So I'm just working to kind of find some venues like that. So so I'm very excited.
You have to promote that on the platform. Shout out to I was looking to see what episode we had Miguel on this season. It was episode
12?
13.
No, because Melanie was 12, right?
Yeah, episode 13.
Okay.
The who are going to be there to actually do the work. Councilman Miguel Jones.
Oh, right. You're right. I've been saying his name wrong. Miguel, even though he didn't tell me that in college. But yeah, his name is Miguel.
So that's a callback to a former guest of the season. So I'm very happy that we're all in connection. And you definitely have to promote that. Let us know when it is so we can support as best we can.
I will. It's next month sometime. We still working out the dates. But so that's my glow. I feel, I love being creative. I gotta talk to some more people to see like if they will go with my vision. Cause I don't have a venue, but so I'm very excited about that.
Okay.
As for my grow, which I'm gonna sum this up quick because we'll talk more about it in season 3 about this grow season.
Yeah. Of
my life. A bitch been down and out, y'all. I can't even lie.
Yeah.
But it's weird because I have a very hard time expressing sadness or like discomfort outwardly to other people.
Okay, with other, not yourself.
Yeah, not with myself.
Like not holding space for yourself.
Exactly.
But to others. Yeah, communicate that.
And I think the only like I was telling Alyzza, I saw her before we checked in. I just bust out crying. And I can do that like with my mom. My mom is usually because she could tell by the tremble in my voice if something's wrong with me. And I be feeling bad because like that's the only person. Not that I don't have other people to share my issues with, but I just don't like feeling like a burden. And I know like in this day and age, like with everything that's going on in this country, relationships, all of that. And I know that my friends will make time for me, but it's just very hard for me to get out of that.
Yeah, the mental block of like, I don't want to burden these people I love with my sadness.
With my sadness. And then also like getting people to understand like how my brain is working differently.
Yeah.
Or how it's always worked differently, but now it's not working. Like, it's not like if I could, I would do the things that I need to, and like not feeling any shame around like the difficulties that I'm having. Because I know that it's my brain and not like my intention or my actual will, right? Like I really want to do the things I need to get done, but it has been extremely difficult in this season, and I'm trying to be positive, but it's hard. I'm look at me. I'm over here tearing up. See, you can see my tears if you was watching the YouTube. So watch the YouTube.
Or on so you Spotify. Can see. You also can watch the video. On Spotify.
You can watch on Spotify too. I forgot. But we need to run them numbers up on YouTube. But look at me being honest,
being vulnerable.
Yeah, it's very hard. It's very hard.
Girl,
I used to think.
It's hard for a lot of people right now. You are not alone in that. Girl, it's hard. People are down bad.
I know, but I'm hard body. Like, despite the fact that I can be soft, I don't like I don't know. It's a mask that I wore with the ADHD, honestly, because I
Yeah.
did have so much trouble. So, like, despite the trouble, I could put on a face and persevere. But it's been very hard to persevere in this season, and it's kind of like fucking with how I see myself because I've
Yeah,
always been able to push through. So,
and not to be toxically positive and be like, "It's all gonna be great."
no,
But
I believe
I
it
think
will.
that
It's just
this is
hard right
what is
now.
the Maya Angelou quote? "It is okay to experience defeat and not be defeated," right? And we're talking about
Absolutely.
Big Sister General today too,
Mm-hmm.
and she
Oh
has
my
some
God.
bars at the end
I
of
would
her
be on the
book.
Grippy Socks Hotel if I was Big Sister General. I wouldn't be crying no goddamn podcast. Y'all
Oh
would have
my
to come
goodness.
visit me. I
At
don't even
Arkham,
know.
at Arkham.
At Arkham, right.
So,
Me and Sophia would be in there terrorizing folks.
but she, this about this not being like, even this loss
Mm-hmm.
for the election, like specifically in her context, but the losses we experience are not like those are battles. It's not the full war. It's not the end of your story. Like I just don't want you to the seasons that we are experiencing like defeat are just that.
Mm-hmm.
They're just seasons. And there's a way for us to connect with other people to not feel isolated and not feel burdened and alone in how we navigate that. I'm not trying shit sucks right now across the board for a lot of us. And
Mm-hmm.
I just don't want you to feel uniquely like a
I know.
failure. Like, I don't want you to experience failure. And this is, again, not a loss. It is a lesson. It is something we are
Mm-hmm.
using to inform how we move forward, girl. We still alive. We have breath in our body. This is not the end of anybody's story. It's all going to be good. We're going to be all right.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna be good.
Baby.
I'm trying to wait because I've had so many funnies that I've been using humor to get out of my funk,
Which is very black of us,
it's very
right?
black.
It's very black. Girl, that's a survival mechanism.
Mm-hmm. Thank God for our ancestors. And
I know.
if you follow, I guess it's my burner page because I do have like a professional IG, but if you follow my burner IG,
Oh, yeah. You shared some funnies this week.
yes, I shared some of the stuff that I have been watching. Like that Helga one, I've had that for at least a month. And
Helga Pataki singing Dangerously in Love to Arnold
yes,
in her closet at night is hilarious.
hilarious. And that
So funny.
dude from Chicago, I feel like he's from the West Side, but that was rapping March Madness.
I didn't know that was a Chicago TikTok. That's
Yes,
hilarious. I thought that
yes.
was a man from New York.
No,
Never mind. He
ma'am.
was very aggressive. Oh my God.
Don't let me be in the club and that comes on. I will
March Madness
transform.
is
That's my
literally
song.
what Dreams and Nightmares thinks it is. Unfortunately.
Exactly. I know. Sorry if you love it.
Chat, don't fight me. Don't jump me on this one.
Cause I mean I know the song because they played it so much in the club, but like it never really moved me. But March Madness, I'd be damn near ready to do a backflip with Chris Brown ass. Okay, that shit is like a super serum, super soldier serum.
Oh my God, it's how you act. It activates you.
No,
So
but like
that's
legit,
so
how that man was rapping, these sucker niggas can't. Like legit,
my
I feel
God.
that. I feel that.
That's
Future
so
used
funny.
to be my guy.
We're just gonna have to put these on the pod page. Stay tuned
Okay,
for the new
yes,
content.
we will. Yeah, that has to be on there. Okay, but best friend, look at me.
You're
Glow and grow.
Look, Maki Dada, it's all okay. My glow and grow are connected, and I'm gonna be real cute and brief because I'm excited for the Woo Girl. We have so much to talk about. There are things we've actually not talked about as friends because we were like, let's wait till we get on wax to talk about it. So, glow and grow are both connected to school this week. These weeks, plural. So my lesson is that I've not finished enough of my dissertation proposal to allow myself to go to homecoming. I had to make a big girl decision. And I was it's my line's 15th year anniversary. And a lot of my line is going back to homecoming. And I would love to be in Chapel Hill at D-Ho with my friends, my family, the dolls. And I really had to sit down and tell myself, with the schedule I have and reasonably with my deadlines that are not flexible, and I still got to be somebody's wife and mama, and I work full time and I got to take care of me. I have obligations and work travel. I'm like, it's not feasible. So I had to make the big girl call and be like, if you had written more before today, you could have gone, but you can't. So that's my lesson. I don't take it. And a lot of things were out of my control. This is like now, when you have small children, chat, you don't even control some of the things that the protected time you think you have. they're going to look at you and laugh and say, you thought, right? So between, a lot of things are out of my control, and that's fine. So that's my little lesson. If I had, I don't have ADHD. I'm not diagnosed with ADHD. It's still TBD whether I meet the criteria. But time blindness is the only thing.
ADHD people,
They click up. Like,
they click up.
So, it might be my ministry, and I just need to go talk to the lady. But time blindness is something I have experienced where, like, I will try to crunch, too many things in like an unreasonable amount of time. So, like, for example, that's like the equivalent of saying, okay, I have an hour before I need to leave the house. And in that hour, I'm going to cook dinner. I'm going to wash the clothes. I'm going to do my hair. I'm going to write this email. I'm going to do my homework. Like, you can't reasonably, a reasonable person would know you don't have enough time to do all of that. But sometimes I fight against my nature. And so this is me trying to actively correct for that. Like, okay, girl, you didn't give yourself enough of a runway to reasonably take care of serious business. So you're on timeout. Stay your ass at home. It's fine. There'll be more homecomings. And that was my grow this week. And my glow is that I'm actually, I have an actual date to sit for my my dissertation. So I am.
When is it?
I have it.
Can I come?
No, not for this. This is closed to just my community. But my dissertation is public. That'll be something you can come to. So I thought about that too. I was like, oh, who can come? No, it's just me and the people. So I'm really proud.
Put me on the phone.
You can't. It's gonna be in a locked Zoom. That's so funny. But but I'm very proud of myself for getting to this point in my program. I also am proud that the committee that I assembled, I didn't realize how unlikely. What is the damn word with something like things don't happen like this? Like
peculiar?
Yeah, I guess how out of the ordinary. I didn't realize how out of the ordinary it was for like your first pick of committee members to all agree. To sit.
Oh, that's because they know you that.
So I was really pleasantly surprised when I was talking to my faculty advisor about, the heavy hitters. I was like, I want her, I want him, I want her, I want her. She was like, okay, let's reach out and see if they are interested. And everybody said yes.
Praise God.
I was like, girl, that doesn't happen. I was like, oh. And also, it's very like Mona Leah coded, soul salon, non-black right? So everybody on my committee, I said it looks like the center's cast. It's like all black people and one Chinese woman.
I love it. I love it
too. I'm like, yes, it's very. I'm very excited for this elite, esteemed group of power brokers in my discipline to really haze me through this process and make sure I'm refined and that I earn these letters. All right,
exactly.
This is gonna be. It's not given. It's earned. So
you're gonna get it.
Yeah.
By hook or crook.
I'm about to say there's no way out of this. Through it. So.
Two things. I be telling, I'm super proud of you. I be like, my best friend is an epidemiologist. She's getting her doctorate. I don't know what she's studying, but she's at Johns Hopkins. Oh, wait. Can take that out, right?
That's I feel like it's public.
Like, don't be weird. Don't be weird. Don't be scared. Because if you can't tell, I'm a little emotionally unstable right now.
That's
I'm
so
liable
funny.
to do something if you mess with my friend. But I'm like, wait, can I share it to a Bloomberg scholar? Okay. I'm not sure, but I'd be like, y'all know that big rich nigga, he paying for her to go to school.
Andy is. And if anybody hates Donald Trump more than me,
it's
Michael Bloomberg.
And the enemy of my enemy
is my friend.
Is my friend. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
But and then the second thing. So wait. So what is it? What's your degree? Like, let me write this down so I can make sure I had.
I'm in so it's a doctor of public health.
Okay.
And I am, girl. I'm in a department that is technically probably at this point illegal. Health equity and social justice. So it is an interdisciplinary degree. So I do have to take a lot of epidemiology classes, a lot of health policy classes, health behavior classes. So it's a very mixy degree.
Okay.
System science, implementation science. So yes, I'm very much like a holistic, will be, a doctor of public health soon and very soon.
Period. So. I love that. And I should have known it was a both and or something and. But
I have some esteemed heavy hitter epidemiologists on my committee, so they're going to make sure that those epidemiology methods are tight. To boot.
Period.
I think you might be a Delta too. That's funny because you know how you work for Deltas. They're gonna make you work for real.
Oh yeah. Which is partially why I'm not. Never mind. I ain't gonna tell my tea too much. But also
yeah,
my
I'm very
second
excited.
thing,
Yeah.
you should be, is Mona Leo put out a new project, Who Did the Body. It came out. It's a concept album.
Today?
It came
It's out
out at
today?
like 11 p.m. Yeah.
Okay.
11 p.m. yesterday. I already listened
Okay.
to it, you know. That's my girl. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's a concept album. I think it's very interesting. I really like it. I love her rapping. Duh.
Yeah.
But I like the story that she's telling, and
I have to check
like,
it out.
so it's kind of cool.
You
So
have
yeah.
made me a fan. You've definitely jumped me into appreciating her artistry.
Yeah,
And
she's
I've heard Soul Salon over the King Kunta beat, which I think is a superior mashup. I love the dolls rapping. Sometimes I feel like the beat selection, the production could use a little bit of help, but she's rapping her ass off.
But it'd be hard.
Yeah.
Because patriarchy.
And I enjoyed the visuals too. It's like, you know,
Oh
I
yeah,
appreciate
it was very fun. Very black.
all the non-blacks
Yeah.
to the back.
And her best friend is white, and it was funny. And she was back there
That's hilarious.
dancing in the back. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, I love Mona Leo. I feel like, you know, without going too much, the girls that are, well, her specifically, she's very girly, but she's very aggressive. And it just reminds me of myself. I wish I was even more aggressive when I was her age.
Yeah, she's young, which is the surprising part of how elevated and mature she is. Her worldview seems very sophisticated and mature for her age. So I'm
absolutely.
You know what, Jen? I have to give it to Gen Z a little bit. I have to give it to her. There is yet hope in the children. I do think that there are some standouts who are giving me a little bit more.
One of them. Yeah, because even in her, like, if you watched her wedding and all that stuff, she had a lot of gems and was like just speaking life into girls her age, but also, you know, of all ages, that did not feel like they could have that moment, especially if they were like in abusive relationships or sexually assaulted.
Which she's a survivor of, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Both, actually. So yeah, and she's a very powerful. I feel the same way about her like I felt about Meg when I knew Meg was gonna be it. I knew Meg was gonna have a song with Beyonce. You could check my tweets. I'll put it out there.
I love it.
So yeah, so I got the ear. I know who's really gonna take off. And I know who should take off, even if they don't.
Yeah.
But yeah. So shout out to Mona Leo. Shout out to Alyzza. Yeah. All right. Well, you ready to boogie? Woogie?
Yeah. Let's go into it, girl. I've been waiting for this. Our Woo Girl. What is going on is our segment where we rap about current events, things that are happening in real life, outside, and grass, both in pop culture and politics, all of the things, music, arts, entertainment, but also, again, real life things that are impacting the generations. There's so much that has happened in the past 4 weeks since we've been on here. We had a list of like 36 things that we could have talked about. So we narrowed it down to try to keep it, you know, we can't have y'all here all day.
Right.
So, what do you want to talk about?
So first, we are going to talk about Belcalis Almanzar, aka Cardi B. I will say, because there's a lot.
I'm from the Bronx.
There are 4 main topics that we are going to pontificate about. The first one being her album overall.
Okay.
Crystal and Bobby, which so that's her newest what is it called?
Bobby.
It's Bobby? Oh, I've been calling it Bobby.
Her brand partnership for
her brand partnership.
Formula. I'm like, what? I thought you meant Bobby is like a person. I'm like, who is Bobby?
No, Bobby the breast milk. So yeah, so let's.
It's not breast milk, is it? Is it?
Yeah. Well, it's not breast milk, but it's like powdered formula. Yeah,
it's organic formula.
Yeah, my bad. I could tell I'm not a mom, but I know Bobby because my niece and nephew, or maybe it was just my niece, but no, I think it was both of them. They did Bobby. Like as like partial supplements because they was very bougie and they could not do any of the American
but I thought Bobby was an American formula. That was
they from overseas.
European.
It's European, but I think they probably, you know, obviously are trying to branch out, especially working with Cardi B.
Yeah.
So
that is so funny.
So yeah, let's start with the album.
Yeah.
Am I the drama? Yes. I am.
Yes, she is.
Yeah. So, best friend, what'd you think about the album?
It was a hit. I thought it was a very, for her to take 7 years between her acclaimed debut album, Invasion of Privacy. Clearly, the girl was experiencing a little bit of apprehension and, fear about the sophomore slump, as they call it. And she put a lot of thought into this. I think she put a lot of care into this. People can say what they want about her as a musician and as an artist, but if to say that this is a hustle for her, like music is a hustle for her, I think that's an unfair, disingenuous take. Because if her experience in music was all about profit and getting a dollar, she would be on her 4th or 5th album by now, right?
Absolutely.
She would absolutely she's had enough singles for her to have put out several albums if she didn't care about the music. And the fact that the girl is down now in the history books as, is it the highest selling female rapper in history?
Yep.
I want to say that she's moved the most records. She's really secured herself. You can say what you want about the talent, but she makes hit records.
But honestly, before I give my review, no, you can't, because the talent is there. The talent is there. Now, everybody like to bullshit about her working with Party, but riddle me this.
Yeah, I don't care about her having not even a ghostwriter.
It's not a ghostwriter.
They
Thank
collaborate.
you very much. Because ghostwriters are ghosts. You don't know that they have them.
Yeah. And they present it as if the artist presents it as if it is their original.
They're doing
writing.
Exactly. So the fact that it's very clear, you know what Party does. Party has said multiple times that because he is more seasoned, he sometimes, and I think because she is bilingual and English is not her first language, helping her rephrase things or make it sound better is not writing the music for her.
Yeah.
And that should be even more apparent by the fact that nigga is not a superstar. If he was really breaking, if he was really all of that, he would be that for himself. And he's not.
Yeah.
Because it also comes with delivery. There's so much to rapping.
Yeah.
That people never like to take into account when they are when they're trying to diminish someone's talent, especially someone where they know they have collaborators.
Yeah.
Because even when she had posted the rough version of her diss against JT, Magnet.
Yeah.
It was rough, right? But she was just trying to get her feelings out, and she was really roasting her.
You mean the video she shared on the behind the scenes of her going in on her tirade? She wrote that. She wrote it. She's a comedian, first of all.
She very
the
much
girl
so.
is funny. So she absolutely is quick with words. She's not stupid. People can call her a lot of things. She's not dumb.
Stupid.
She's not dumb at all. She's actually very intelligent.
That's
she's a bird, and she's a and English is her second language. I think she would have definitely benefited from an IEP, like a speech plan. She has a little bit. Her tongue is kind of heavy. Sometimes it's hard, even in listening to her records in English, to understand what she's trying to say because her diction can be kind of lazy sometimes or slow. But those are all things that are important for a rapper, though. I think comparing,
and she recognizes that,
she owns it. She owns it,
and she stays in the studio and will redo a song until she feels like it's the absolute best that she can do.
Yeah,
and this is not to say I don't think that Cardi is the best female rapper. Well, I don't like to do those qualifiers because I really feel like the best rapper is Meg Thee Stallion. People don't like to give her 10.
You mean of the current class of rappers?
Yeah. The current rappers out.
The rap girls.
If you want to talk about rap girls, sure. Because Kendrick, I would say, is the best guy. But she can really rap. She's really talented. And if she's only worked with Party, again, Party has had some middling success, but make another Cardi B.
Yeah, exactly. That's one of everybody's favorite. It's a very popular Jay-Z line. Okay, make another Hove, and you can't. They've tried. The industry has tried to make multiple Cardis. There are a lot. Cardi has sons right now in the industry,
and she don't be sunning them. And that I think is the beauty of her.
Yeah, she don't.
Of her as an artist. She don't. Until they come for her, she do not come for them.
Yeah, it's messy. Okay, as an aside, because you mentioned Kendrick, super aside, I'm just your hot take in terms of this is going to be a real contested rap album of the year at the Grammys. She's probably going to present for consideration. I don't think she's gonna take it. But between you got Tyler the Creator.
She wouldn't.
You don't think she made the cutoff? She didn't make the cutoff for 2026 Grammys?
Oh, yeah, she did.
Yeah. So okay, you got GNX, you got Let God Sort Them Out, you got Chromacopia, got this record, you got there's like a lot of I'm naming the ones who I feel like might come to the top of like, and then maybe even splitting the vote. Who do you think is gonna take Rap Album of the Year? Do you think it's gonna be Clips or Kendrick or Tyler the Creator?
I mean, I think it depends on how this campaign season kind of goes out, because I feel like, what's his name? Peter Rosenberg. I've seen some like bigwigs in music that have been kind of trying to like downplay GNX, and I think
I don't know how.
in favor.
I don't know how.
Yeah, like I think he did his ranking of like Kendrick's best albums, and he put GNX after Untitled, which I love Untitled, though that's one of my favorite, like, I count that as an album, even though I know he put it out as an album, but because they were To Pimp a Butterfly throwaways, I just think of it as like a goodies. Like, you know, like,
I love how you're talking about Kendrick, how we got off. You got off on the third aside talking about Kendrick albums.
Yes. No, but what I'm saying is Peter Rosenberg had put like Damn, Good Kid, Mad City, To Pimp a Butterfly, Untitled, GNX, and then he had Mr. Morale at the end, which I totally don't agree with. But I could do a whole episode on Kendrick. So then that segment to bring me on the podcast. But anyway, but I've been seeing different people that's been kind of like discounting Kendrick. And I think it is because they want Clips to win.
Okay.
And so I think that the powers that be might try to shift the voters by like talking more so about the impact. Like even the fact that I think it was kind of intentional, which again, I am nobody. I just recognize patterns.
Yeah.
But I don't have any insider tea. But the fact that Kendrick wasn't in the Chains and Whips video, I think that was somewhat intentional. Like, I think that they don't want like a Kendrick stimulus. They want to be, if they win, they want it to be all about the clips. And because they were able to bring a lot of hype to the album by releasing that Kendrick verse so everybody could get excited, but they don't want people.
But the rollout was so much bigger than that. And honestly, I wouldn't even call that the highlight or the pinnacle of their rollout. Them niggas was at the Vatican. Like they
kicked it off though.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
the Vatican was like the cherry on top that like these niggas have really done something with themselves.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like I mean, and honestly, like obviously I think that Kendrick absolutely would. I don't think that he would have a problem with them winning. So, but I think he will win.
You think Kendrick's gonna be Rap Album of the Year?
I think Kendrick will get Rap Album of the Year. But I feel like it's probably gonna be some mudslinging up until then.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't think Cardi is going to be a contender this year. In the way that I was not when Invasion of Privacy won, she earned that. She earned that. And the evolution for me, I would say, between her freshman album and this album, what was really clear, I think she's always been genuine, but this album, I think it had a lot more vulnerability, and it was clear that she had more confidence than Invasion of Privacy era. Her insecurities were really on display. I think she really connected that win to the Offset on the back end really was instrumental in getting that album finished. He had to really pull in on the production side, making niggas get their verses in. Like, he really had to be a husband and support her. Even her bringing him on stage to accept that award. I remember I felt a certain way because they were in the middle of like, again, public infidelity and this nigga not being shit. She just did not feel confident in her place in hip hop. And that is not the Belle Khalees we have in this album.
Currently,
and I'm enjoying.
Yes.
Very much more. She's 33. She's a grown woman who has like demonstrated and proven that she is a contender.
She says she is.
And she's who she says she is. So, the album had a little bit for everybody.
It
had
really
a little bit for everybody.
It really did.
It was a well-balanced album.
Start to finish. And I like that I saw that the tides were turning about imaginary players. Like people it syncs well in like the track listing. And it's like, I never had a problem with it. I thought it was pretty damn good, especially knowing the original imaginary players, like, and Hov signed off on it. So like for just random ass listeners, if the creator of the song is like, yeah, I like that. And I mean, I'm sure some business went into it, right? Cause he gonna get money cause it's Cardi B. But if that shit was what do my Atlanta folks say? Slow. If it was slow,
that's Southern
he
period. I would say the North Carolina
only,
I first heard that in North Carolina. So yes, slaw.
Yeah, my homeboy in Atlanta used to say that all the time. I'm like, slaw? What?
Yeah,
I love coleslaw. But anyway, yeah. So what's your top 5?
Oh man.
Or what's your favorite song?
Let me see. My favorite? No, I if I can't say top 5, saying my favorite is gonna be harder.
Look on your own repeat.
I'm just trying to
on Spotify.
Oh my goodness, let's see.
And see what Spotify tell you.
I think my favorites are Magnet, Better Than You, Airtime, Bodega Baddie.
Oh yes, of course. Oh
my goodness!
When Santana was doing that dance to the break, I like the music makes you do that.
It's so good.
It's so good.
And it's only a record. And I appreciate artists having sounds. It's only a record that Cardi can have. It is only a Cardi record. That's not something that you can like copy and paste. It makes sense to her identity to have a record
with Dominican merengue.
That sound, yeah. And I think I named 4. I'm gonna give the 5th one to Salute.
Okay.
Salute. A sleeper. I love like the slow jams because it tells a story. I really appreciate even
which I really like that. Yes.
Yeah, because bring back albums, right? So I like this. I'm a slow jams girl. I really like Principle, and I did have a question for you as the Legal Eagle. No one has been able to explain to me why is it featuring Janet Jackson if it does not include original Janet verse, re-recording, interpolation, like it is just a sample. So why is it a feature?
Because
I'm just curious.
I don't know like the actual answer, but I could guess that that's probably what they required to have her
for publishing.
Janet? To like Janet. Yeah, Janet required whatever. Like, yes, like I get that because she also made like they had to, like, because typically you just reach out to the publishing, like whoever has the rights to let out the songs. And like sometimes as a professional courtesy, they'll give like a heads up, like, hey, I'm going to use your song on this. But like she heard it. She also asked her to like tweak certain things. So because she was kind of instrumental. And she actually has 2 songs.
Yeah, she has another song that samples Janet, which is
that's
On My Back. Yeah,
On My Back. She doesn't have a feature on that one, I don't think.
That's when I was confused. No, it's not. It's featuring Lourdes, who is the singer, but it includes a Janet sample from Funny How Time Flies. But that's why I was confused. I'm like, okay, so why does Principle have a feature? So you're saying Janet had notes for the record?
For Principle. And I think, yeah. Now for Lourdes record, I can't remember, because do we hear Janet's voice on there? I don't know. I think that is just like the beat.
It's the track. Yeah, that's why Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis are on they have writing credits.
Right. It's just the music.
It's just the music. Yeah.
Right. So because we
Principle,
can
we get the hook.
We get the Principle. Right.
Yeah. And it's Janet's vocals, but it's just like changed or produced over. Okay, that was a separate aside.
But no, I think that it's because
I was expecting Demita Jo to have a new verse or to have some type of like modification of her original. I mean, Janet ain't doing too much for no Cardi record, but I was expecting something different. But I enjoy that record.
She got a lot of religious things going on. So the fact that she even cleared it to me was like
it was a nod. But those are my top. I think Salute for real sounds very West Side. It sounds very Chicago to me. I could hear
that's so funny.
Brad, Do or Die. But at the same, they would slide on that record. It was smooth as hell. But at the same time, she sounds like the 4th member of the Migos. So it sounds like a Migos track. But I'm like, why does this sound like I'm waiting to hear
about
Takeoff?
Real bitches.
But at the same time, it's just the production. It rides. Like it sounds like Crucial Conflict is waiting to hop in. I honestly want to hear Chicago niggas only like remix to that song.
That was a 2 Chainz song.
Salute was?
He had her in the studio and she heard it. So like he actually did like he had the chorus already. And so she changed that to be like, salute the real bitches, because it was the real niggas. But yeah, that was his song. She told him that she wanted it, so he gave it to her. Yep. So it was Atlanta. Yeah.
Look, friends, you are hearing the inside. We do our Googles over here. Okay.
Yeah, I'm a music scholar for sure.
Yes. I love that. So what are your top 5 then? I gave you mine.
So I am going to go based on my on repeat, even though I feel like I really love all of the album. It would be easier for me.
I play the album through and I'll skip what I don't want to hear. So like the repeat ain't gonna help me because I just the top contenders are all gonna have, I think, the same 10 to 12 tracks I probably play. Just let it ride.
Yeah. So the first couple weeks I just played it on a loop. But outside, the songs that I hear on the radio, even though I really love Safe. So I don't typically skip that one, but I usually just play the stuff that is I haven't heard on the, well, I don't even listen, but that hasn't been already in the zeitgeist of the internet. But, I got some sleepers. I love Nice Guy. With Tyler.
She could have kept it. Oh my goodness. I think that song could have been left off the album.
Of that song. When Tyler's singing, and then Cardi come in, damn shit, yeah, you got the right bitch, and then the beat is under that. That little 3-part.
You live in that space. You live in that little.
I got goosebumps around just thinking about it.
That is so funny.
It's that little section is just so delicious. I love that. So these are not in order, but I'm just looking at every time, that reminds me of All There, standing on the couch, Jeezy type shit. I love that. I love that. Dead. I want all these bitches dead. First of all, Cardi, Get Up 10.
That's hilarious. Yeah, that was an amazing intro to an album. So it was going to be hard for her to come back and top that. I don't think she did. I think Get Up 10 is a harder opener to me.
I love Dead. I love Dead. Principle. This is one of my.
I love Principle.
Yeah, that's one of my jams.
The Principle.
Hey, cause niggas out here praying for a bitch like me. Yeah, I love that one. So yeah, I love Magnet, duh. But I would say the other one that I find myself singing up here on the regular. Oh, it's hard. Oh, Check Please.
I like Check Please.
I love when she get the gritty. What is it? She be like, what is it? God damn, I can't think of the lyrics right now. But she, when she start talking her shit, something up here, nigga. Let's go. I love that little part where she I need more money than problems this year. Let's go. But whatever she say in that first part, I love that.
The vocal production on some of these songs are stronger than others.
Yeah, for sure.
I think Check Please, it has some really strong vocal production. It does too. Safe has really good
Safe is
vocal
excellent.
Production.
But because that was the lead single, or no, that was the second single.
Yeah, because Imaginary Players.
Because Outside, Imaginary Players, and then but I like Safe, but I'm not including that. But my other one that I really love is Shower Tears.
Oh, I skipped past them. Past them. I'm not doing. I think Cardi skipped past that damn song when she be listening to this album too.
No, she skipped past Many a Word, which I
definitely
understand.
Does.
And I love that song, but
I do too. I like the production. It's the calypso, the little island vibe. I actually enjoy it.
I love
enjoy
it. It's
and the concept of the song,
right? But it's very stripped down so that you can really hear what she's saying.
Yeah,
and I just love that. I love that. I love it. I love it as a concept, as a record. So really and truly, I love the whole album. It's very hard for me, but I'm just saying that I really love Summer's part in Shower Tears. That we should be good. That little thing. I love that. I love that. So, I have parts of songs I really like.
Yeah. So I think it's when people say that when Lizzo comes on singing like she's in Trolls. No, listen, this is a Linda Perry stand account. We love the song. I love the reference. I do think that Lizzo comes on screaming like she is in Trolls 4. Absolutely. She sounds like a pop troll. And I mean that with all due respect, for sure. It's not shade, because the Trolls movies, they be singing.
They be jamming.
They be jamming. But
see, it's hard because I really like that one too. But yeah. But she's on Mona Leo's thing, and she's talking some nasty shit. Yeah, she's on a song called Freak Show. Yeah, I think she's, other than she got an OG mix with Bun B, Paul Wall, and I think maybe I don't want to mess it up.
Let me go listen to this EP. It sounds like it'll be a nice little album.
But it's called Freak Show, and yeah, it's freaky. Okay. But I like it. But yeah, so damn, we didn't talked about just that part. See, this is why we would have been able to talk about each little segment of Cardi each week.
That's so funny.
But let's zip through the nickels. But in general, overall, I love the album. I'm very proud of her.
Yeah.
I hope she's proud of herself.
She should be proud of herself for what she put together, especially she had all of what she was battling personally to get this, and to not have the support of Offset, and getting this across the finish line,
and specifically the sabotage of him, right?
Yeah,
In spite of what he was doing to make it hard for her.
Yeah.
She persevered. So I'm very, very happy
She said,
for
my
her.
baby daddy acting like my baby moms. Ain't lying.
I love that.
She sung that man so bad on this album. It was so good. Called him her evil twin. Yeah, well.
Yeah. So
speaking of, if that's the evil version of her, I don't know what she calls herself, because the way her and that crazy nurse, the patient escaped. The way her and Nicki Minaj been on the internet clowning, they both honestly are out of line and vow to include each other's children in all of these shenanigans. I feel like that's all I got on it. Nicki started it. Absolutely. She's nuts. Clearly something is going on. She needs to be down at Arkham. She's going to tweet herself into a conservatorship, legitimately.
If that stupid nigga know what to do. I think I'm not going to be morbid, but yeah. I don't think that he's going to, unless he has somebody that's in his ear that will help him even get a conservatorship done.
He's trying to kill her. He's just going to have her do this till she goes crazy. That's
that's
so
what
vile.
I think. Cause I know she don't have no prenup. He's just gonna take her money, which is what he's been doing. And I hate that. I hate that for her. Even though I don't like her, I don't like that. Right. Like, I know that she has some deep-seated issues. Yeah. And it's caused, and she's, just a hater bitch. But nobody deserves to be taken advantage of in that way. Yeah. Especially when your spouse, I know that he sees that she was tweaking out. And because she had to come out and be like, yeah, somebody's been stealing on my Amex.
That was very
all
bizarre.
of that shit is right, but it's true. And I know that he did have them niggas from Queens going back, and they was running because they don't give a shit about her. He don't give a shit about her. Don't like it. Now, what I will say is, I don't talk about kids. I love children, but, and this is a but that's kind of bold, but I feel like even though Cardi did kind of talk about Papa, most of it was geared at his mama. It was just like, sorry, yo mama.
She said that baby was in there banging pans and spoons, baby.
But he was. You saw the video. So it wasn't even like she had,
the inference is that the baby is slow. To be pejorative.
Autistic.
Oh, slow, specifically. I think that people use them interchangeably to be ignorant.
Well, that's true.
It is not an insult to say a child is autistic, but it can be used as an insult.
As a pejorative, right?
Yeah, because it's like, you don't know that, you ain't seen that baby's diagnosis. You just are observing what you're saying it to be funny and to be nasty.
Well, I don't necessarily think she was saying to be funny, because I feel like she didn't want to talk about him, but because she kept talking about culture and then Blossom and then the baby in her, at this point, you want me. I can't beat you up. So I'm going to have to talk about your kids. And I don't like it, but I do feel like most of her ire was directed at what Nicki did. And sorry if this is the consequence. That maybe you are banging spoons together and not in any, we don't hear you saying words. So perhaps your mom is covering up the fact that something might be going on. Or if she isn't, she should just show because even when she had posted that Wave was so smart, and then all the Nichols fans was like, why are you trying to talk? It's just weird. It's weird. So, and I feel like there is... Oh, yeah.
The fandom of this all is honestly...
strange.
It's beyond strange. It's hostile. It's not mentally sound.
Right.
And all of the stands and these ridiculous parasocial relationships that people form with celebrities and mindlessly just you're attacking people you don't know behind a woman who would not spit on you if you was on fire.
No. And she's shown it multiple times.
It's very disturbing.
It is. But I think the fact that Nicki feeds into it, I do think that, I don't know, Nicki or Cardi saying she's schizophrenic and bipolar, all that stuff. But I think that there is some truth, and that's why she's projecting onto the children. So even if he might not be quote unquote slow, there might be something going on with him developmentally that she is very sensitive about.
Yeah, she's clearly
right. But lashing out at others' children is not the way to do it.
They're trying to bring Jay-Z and Beyonce's children into it.
Right. And it's just weird.
No, you won't.
No,
I
you
bet you
won't.
won't.
Beyonce will beat your ass. If she was running down on Fab and them about Solange and Jay, she ran down on 50 Cent about Jay.
Yeah,
She will absolutely pop up at that house that's in foreclosure, about to be in foreclosure, to see about you.
Yeah. It's all deranged.
So
the Stan
it's very
Wars
deranged. Yeah. And
just take us out the chat. It's just weird. And neither one of them, I feel like, need to be playing this about the identity politics of it all. It's like, it's not about Black women being victims.
That's the thing. And yes, I am on Cardi's side, but I don't feel like Cardi's bringing up any of the stuff. Like, when Cardi's album came out, this bozo dropped that her album was coming out in 6 months. Yeah. Like, you are
Nicki
actively
is clearly the initiator and the instigator of all of this, for sure.
Right.
And they both are wrong for invoking each other, for the nastiness of the tone that they've created online to talk negatively about kids who ain't got shit to do. Yeah. Right. Each other, no, let them hoes fight. Y'all want to talk about each other? Go ahead. But yeah, kids is just, that's really unfortunate that those children are going to and that's forever. Like that footprint online is not going to ever be something that goes away.
Do you think that Kendrick was wrong for making Meet the Grams talking to Adonis?
No, I don't. And it is not me being misogynistic to say, you talk about mothers. I don't think that him talking to Adonis about his daddy being a bitch is the same as saying your baby is slow and can't talk. I don't think those are the same.
It took her a long time to say that. She tried.
We got there.
Okay,
we got there. But this is the thing. You know that there is no win. You cannot breathe. You cannot make sense out of nonsense.
But she did win. But
no, not even win, not win or lose. I'm saying that I don't think Cardi won necessarily. I think that you cannot continue to go back. Honestly, they both look ridiculous at the end. Talking about drop your location. Bitch, you're 7 months pregnant. You're not about to go fight Nicki Minaj. Y'all are too rich for all of this. So all of it feels very weird. I
Nicki's
think for
not
adults
rich,
to be on,
by the way. She's not rich. Sorry.
I don't know what she's in big debt.
Big debt. Big debt. It's actually sad. It's sad. It's sad. And she's
honestly,
it's mad at the
like
wrong people.
Birdman has your money. You're mad at the wrong people. This ain't got nothing to do with Jay-Z.
Right.
Yeah, Wayne, but they got your money.
No, I agree with you. I do think that in the end it was foolish.
They look crazy. They're too grown. One is past 40. The other is on the other side of her 30s. Yeah. You cannot be online with all of this wealth and all of these things to lose, carrying on like that. And I will say...
But again, we're talking about a hood bitch. That when she saw... The fact that she put the songs out about diarrhea Bia...
Oh, yeah.
And Brenda got a baby ass bitch. She said that I did not want my kids to grow up and see
thinking
on the internet
I didn't clap back when they was disrespected.
Because I had to violate.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I would do that as me. And not in that way, right? But I too would do something where I felt like I was getting some get back. But I'm not a rapper, so I can't, whatever. But I if I'm thinking like Cardi B, right? Who we can only, she's only, even though I do think she's intelligent.
Yeah.
All of those great things.
And she has been exposed to so much. And the time that we have met her on Love and Hip Hop to now, she is a businesswoman. She is, she is a brand.
All of those
She's
things.
a mogul. She's all of these things. I'm not going to deal with you and put kid gloves on you like you're the same 20-year-old we found in the Bronx projects.
You're not putting kid gloves on her. I'm just saying that sometimes you get tired of trying to talk to people.
I think what
and talk to them reasonably.
And I think that you can't police how people respond to
once you're done
disrespect.
talking, you take it to the grass, right? So like her wanting to fight, like I'm done talking to you. I want to beat your ass. I understand getting that angry.
Yeah. Same. Behind your kids, especially. Behind your kids, especially.
Exactly. Like even I just think about, and I feel bad because little kids, because my niece and nephew are small. They're smaller than their peers in their age group, but they're very bright. So they do the stuff that everybody does. So but because they're kind of small, people be trying to hold them. My nephew is very kind-hearted. Like he just is not a fighter. My niece is not that. So people learn very quickly not to fuck with Leah. But this little boy came up. We was like at a little park. It was a hell of people there. Now, Black people and Maggie. I want to always say that, like, Black people and Mark But
That's
yeah,
so funny.
but you know, we stay around. We watch our kids, right?
Yeah.
So my mama is over there, Maggie, like we all are nearby, but
Yeah.
I'm the closest because I'm like, I was playing with him and he went to this little thing and they was making music and he was hitting this thing and this little boy snatched they was like little
The
drumsticks.
percussion stick, yeah. The
Snatched
drumstick.
it out of his hand and thought he was finna start playing. And Dion was like shocked, like,
Can't believe you just tried to hold me.
do you know how fast I snatched that thing out that little boy's hand? And I said, we don't do that. There's plenty of stuff in here for you to play with. You don't take anything out of his hand. But I scared him because I jerked him because it was second nature. One, because I want my nephew to know, don't let nobody take nothing from you.
Yeah,
right? But I'm going to protect you.
Yeah.
Right. Because even when you don't have the mind to like, I say assert your dominance, but I don't mean it in that way. But when
That's so funny.
But when you don't have, like, when you are a sweet person and that, you know, he would have, if the boy asked nicely, he might have said, he might have. Yeah. He was only child for a while. So he sometimes ain't sharing in his strong suit. But I was about to muff that little boy. If he had a real good grip on that stick and I was able to snatch it out of him,
he would have been hanging from it. He would have been hanging off the ground.
He would have been hanging by the stick. And I just feel like, I don't even know where I was going with that. ADHD brain. My bad, dog. But stop playing with people's kids.
Yes.
I do agree, but I do feel like there's only so much you can take.
But I think Cardi should have, you are not dealing with a person. If you know, you're saying all these things about her mental health and her mental state. She's not in her right mind. You engaging with this person is only going to cause you to further be brought down to her level.
Right.
So yes, I do expect that at this point in her career and at her age and at her maturity career, I would just expect for her to know you cannot engage with the trolls. And that's how Nicki is at this point. You are not going to she's funny. Cardi won in terms of like online entertainment, but at what cost? Because and I don't think it's interesting.
There wasn't
talking
any
about
cost,
Bobby,
really.
that's it, right? Talking about her brand deals. You know, people. What do Nicki Minaj? What do they call Barbs? Barbs were all in the comments on her new commercial with the formula campaign for Bobby or Bobby, whatever it's called, saying, you know, how do you all justify partnering with someone who talks and makes fun of children who are developmentally challenged or kids who have autism, like somebody who makes fun of kids being slow. And the brand very comfortably was 10 toes down. Is like, I don't know. We can't speak to her discussion on an X, but what we know of her as a partner is that she is a fierce advocate for kids and moms. And, you know, they're talking points because there isn't a consequence at this point. Once that girl was brawling down to the Vanity Fair and had that big ass knot on her head, we should have known then that there is really not much she could do that stop. Well, I don't know.
No, because she said she was losing out on stuff.
She was. She
even
did.
with the Tasha K.
Exactly. That she had to prove damages. So there, I guess, were some brands who were like, we cool on you. But it ain't stopping too many of her bags.
No, because the people, she's the people's princess. People like her. They just like her. They like her personality, think she's funny.
Yeah.
They like her authenticity.
Somebody made the point of like, I need to read up on this, of it being like a phenomenon called jester's privilege. Like there is so much of like how comedic she is, the nastiness, because there is a nastiness to her behavior and her outbursts and she has anger issues. She stays in court. There is we didn't even talk about all the allegations and the stuff that she got. Her friends are locked up behind, allegedly, right? Like you have a streak of some, like, you make questionable decisions to the detriment of yourself and things that aren't rational. Like your niggas stepping out on you and you got ire for the girls.
Again,
and, you know
because
what I mean?
the girls know that she's Cardi B.
Oh, absolutely. But you're still with the nigga.
She feels disrespected. Right, but that's her nigga.
And that does not mean that they deserve to be violated in that way.
Absolutely not.
And so that's what I'm saying. Like there are some questionable things to, like, we love her and her authenticity and how she comes across, but I think there is a privilege. And I mean, let's keep it honest. I am curious. I don't think that I understand her having Black heritage and lineage, but I don't think people look at her as a Black woman in the way.
Are you talking about white people?
I think, honestly, all of the general public. I don't even think Black people really do. I think there is an element to, okay, perfect example. The way, if Sexy Red were to do some of the things that Cardi B did, I think there will be a lot of hostility and disgust and a lot of Moynihan report talking points behind. And I justify, we've talked on this platform how I think she's a vile person. I think it's very disgusting and degenerate. But I think there are things that Cardi does in the same vein that we don't have the same hostility or angst behind. And I think there's a privilege. We know colorism is real, but I also think there's an element of I think she has Black heritage. I don't think that she is lying in terms of having ancestry that are Black, but I think how complicated race is operationalized in America, there is a little bit of benefit that she gets from being a fair-skinned Latina with who presents with certain features now after all the work, right? After all the work that would not fly with if Meg were to do it, if JT were to do it, if Mona Leah were to do it, if Sexy Red were to do it. I think there is a little bit of, I don't think the general population looks at her and sees like a Black woman. They see a mix-ish, like she's a racially ambiguous Latina, Black-ish girl from the Bronx. We all recognize she's a hood, she's a bird from the Bronx. But I don't think people really look at her in the same way that we do and see that Nicki is phenotypically Black. Meg is unambiguously Black. She is not an unambiguous Black girl.
If I agree with that, especially if we're talking about Nicki, because they have pretty similar ancestry.
Nicki ain't I know that Nicki's Trini. Nicki's Trini and Beige.
She's Trini. No, she's Chinese Jamaican. Her daddy is a Chinese Jamaican. Her mama is Trini and is the dark skinned one.
Her dad has no Black ancestry. Having seen Nicki's dad, I thought that he's Black and something else potentially.
He might be Chinese.
He's not a Chinese
Jamaican.
man.
No.
But in Jamaica, that's like saying Chinese and American.
He's Douglas. So I'm pretty sure he's like
Let's see,
mixed.
Nicki Minaj daddy. Well, he did. I'm sorry. Lord have mercy. Forgive me. I was about to say something.
He did. That nigga
morbid.
did.
Yeah, he has straight hair, but he's a dark skinned man. Yeah, Douglas means Afro Trinidadian and Indo Trinidadian. So he's like Black and Indian. Yeah, this is a Black man. This is a Black man.
Sure. He looks like Joe Jackson a little bit.
He looks like Joe Jackson. Exactly. So yeah, she has two unambiguously Black parents. Cardi, not so much. And race is real tricky. How the Dominicans even talk about race and how the Trinis talk about race. It's very weird. It gets very mixy. And so that's what she benefits from that. I don't think she is trying to actively tap into that. I'm not saying that. She's not saying, I'm not Black. I know Black, I Dominican. That's not her thing.
No.
I'm saying that she benefits from us not really seeing her and having to contend with her. There's a privilege to that. I do think that. I don't think she asked for it, but I think she benefits from it. And the gesture aspect, she's a clown. And there's so much that we kind of let her get away with and we don't interrogate because we enjoy her and we enjoy laughing at her and being entertained by her.
I will accept that more than I think because she Spanish speaking, right? Like very like everybody knows. And then when her dad's side of the family is around, which it seems like a lot of the family that's in her house most of the time is her dad's side. And they are, but I guess like indigenous Dominican or
mestizo
like
they're white, white Taino, and they're mixed. They're like fair,
but they're not
Dominican, people.
Her mama's people is the ones where she will say that she gets ethnically
Black.
Black, right.
I've seen her mama and her auntie's old pictures with they doobies, and it's like, oh, those are Black women.
Exactly.
Obviously, her mom is also fair skinned, but you know, it gets real mixy, and this country allows you to benefit from that in a way that would be disgusting. If we saw her as a Black woman, it would be characterized in a way that is like, you can't really be at the strip club 8 months pregnant, throwing 25, and it be something people don't talk about as like a pejorative, and like we wouldn't pathologize it. I think it would be something we would pathologize as, look at this, you a stereotype, you a welfare queen, you out here looking like, you know, and that's not.
But I think that says more about the people who feel that way, because other than the fact, like every time I see her out in the club, I think about COVID, right? And I think about like you could seriously impact your baby's health by being out in these clubs. But I know that the people who are saying it's not a good look because they don't give a fuck about COVID. So it's more so this idea of what a pregnant woman should be doing. And I don't subscribe to that. Now, what I'll say about, even though I get I do agree. I think that white people, I don't know how they see her, but I think Black people see her as Latina. And whereas niggas would like, you know, in and this niggas, I am specifically talking about black men, saw her as an exotic, right? So like she's special.
She's
so
other.
I can right.
Yeah.
Even though she is very much, or at least she feels
connected to her black ancestry.
Right, her black ancestry. That's who she grew up around, blah, blah, blase squaze. Nobody ever questioned blackness. Everybody, how people try to say that be the black one. I think that there's some synergy there, but we're not gonna do that because we still got some more to do. But what I will say is Sexy Red could never do what Cardi B does because Sexy Red has been a vile degenerate from her onset. Cardi, she was funny. She would mix in some shit, but like when she would talk about like I'm a stripper hoe, right? Like some people may or may not like that.
Hoes don't get cold was how we were introduced to Cardi.
Exactly. So. But what's her name having lip glosses named after venereal diseases? Like she is disgusting. Literally
she's
disgusting.
I think she's a psyop. I think that she is like a manufacturing plant.
She got some
scheme that Todd set up to bring bullshit to you. I think that Sexy is absolutely
she got some Aiden Ross type niggas that's her management or something. She's not, but she's also just trying to make money, you know, and get herself out of her situation. No, she's a trollop that, if she was to do the stuff that Cardi was doing on top of how she already behaves.
What she already does. Yeah.
Because there's nothing redeemable about her. Like, she's not well-read. You know, her whole set, when she went on this tour for these stadiums that she ended up canceling, was Make America Great Again. Like, Cardi would never do no shit like that.
It's all antics. There's no substance. It's just all
now, if you want to talk about stereotypes, like that's what people should be calling out. And I don't feel like they do that enough. I think they do it to Cardi like they do it to Beyonce because they are like when Beyonce made Black Parade, I think that song is beautiful. But motherfuckers was going in on her. She didn't say Yoruba right. She only had East Africans on the it's like people pick apart.
When she made Black is King, the project.
Black is King,
general,
but
not
like
just
Black Parade.
Okay.
But yes, but Black Parade was attacked because this was this is a freedom marching song. We don't need Beyonce to do that. And that's why we ain't got the visuals now. Niggas wasn't grateful. But I love Black is King.
I do too.
But anyway, we're getting off topic. But I will say that we can agree. I agree with you mostly. I agree that she is seen differently than a more like how we would
unambiguously Black woman.
Right. But I see her Blackness and I feel like part of why I am resistant. Well, there's a lot of reasons, but I don't want to erase that from her identity or negate it because other people are choosing to, because she has always stood 10 toes down on that. And when you got people like Tyler, right? You got people who, or shit, even Halsey, right? Halsey would love, like Halsey is like, I'm half Black, but because y'all don't see me that way.
That's how you pronounce her name? It's not Hazley?
Yeah, no.
Halsey?
The L is before the S, best friend.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Girl, the brain does not do that for me. I don't
but
pay that close attention to her. So it's like a running joke of like who can get the land. There are lots of Black people who can openly pass as white. So that's not us debating their ancestry. It's saying that to the general public, you do not present as a Black person.
You smart people that are nuanced and well-read and understand colorism. But like people who are
Meghan Markle, guys, there are lots of like, this all happened.
But there are lots of people who say that she's a white woman and think that she presented as a white woman. Damn the fact that on Suits, she had a Black daddy. And it was very clear that was her daddy. Yeah. So, like, if somebody thought that she was white, I don't know how you got there. But because...
I love this is we came full circle. We started the season talking about sinners. And that being, like, the character of... What was her name on the
Mary
movie? Mary, the character of Mary. And the whole point of passing is that you don't pass to Black people. You pass to white people.
You pass to white people.
We see each other. We know what Black is, but there is still a way phenotypically that you can look close enough and distinguishable enough.
Meghan Markle don't.
Meghan Markle doesn't to me either, but some people will argue that is a white woman. And I'm not arguing that Cardi is a white woman. I'm saying that Cardi does not, if she were to, there are ways now with this face that we're on now and the way she has glam. There are times, the little badass picture of her as a kid with her hair all over the place and her looking like she got lead or got silver teeth. She looks like she's a Black child. She looks like a Black child. But
yeah, but I
where
mean,
we are now,
but
she can
Meghan
really.
Markle, I feel like people think she a white woman because she dating Harry. Like
She's married, not dating.
or
That's her
dating,
whole
you know what I
husband,
mean, whatever. But
the
child,
Duchess.
right? I think that the people who kick the shit up, right, and like
Yeah,
make it a thing are being disingenuous.
yeah,
And although as scholarly, well-read people that can
yeah.
engage in nuance, I don't like further feeding. Like, I think that there's a place to talk about it, but
Mhm.
I struggle with putting it into the ether of social media because
Oh, that's a place where nuance dies because it's not a lot of people who want to, in good faith, have those debates. It's a
absolutely.
gotcha. And so this is a good
Mhm.
faith discussion me and you are having,
Right,
which is why we
right.
can
Mhm.
joust like this. But you're right. Online, it just becomes like a trump card of who can sun the other person and be louder and wrong. But on
And
the black woman,
again,
oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
because my niece
Oh, yes.
is although I consider her black, right? I would not, I mean, I guess I would say she was biracial, but I just didn't grow up like that. Like the
Yeah.
people that I knew that had a typically
parent.
white parent and a black parent were considered black.
Yeah.
Even if they were light skinned, right? They
Yeah.
were black. If I could see that they were black, they were black. I consider my niece black. I think she looks black. I feel like some people might not think she looked black, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But I'll be down wherever fighting if people try to make her think that they can tell her because they think that white people might not see or they don't see it or whatever that she's not black. Because I know how she's reared, right? I know what she's been exposed to. I also know her personality. Like there are things other than phenotypical traits that make up our blackness.
Which is culturally. For sure.
Right. And so to deny
the fact that she does have a black parent. Like, let's
she
be
does
very
have
clear.
a black parent. Right.
It is not that she is like a white girl raised in a black family.
No,
it is that she has black ancestry.
She has black ancestry and was raised in an environment around black people.
Yeah.
To identify herself as black. Like she hasn't really started talking about race that much, but like my nephew.
But yes, concept your kids' perception of race starts at that age.
Right,
yes,
exactly.
Between like 1 and 2, they have a very clear understanding and they can make observations and inferences about race. So yes, but she's not verbalizing that yet.
She's not verbalizing it yet. But part of my issue is that I don't want her to internalize the bullshit of how it, but anyway, I'm getting on a tangent. Speaking of people doing a gotcha for not having nuance and wanting gotcha moments on the internet.
Oh yeah.
The next part of our Cardi discussion has to do with Crystal and her visceral reaction to Cardi being pregnant so soon after having Blossom and with her new boyfriend.
And so for those who don't know, that is a very, very popular podcast called The Read. She's a host. The show's been on the air for like 15 years and a long time. They're definitely pioneers in the podcast space for Black creators. And she went on like a rant about Cardi. And it's been litigated on TikTok a lot. I feel like it has been a lot of hashtag discourse, but you and I have not talked about it in depth. And so I did want to get your take because I think we had different opinions about what happened. So yeah, Crystal gave. Go ahead.
So Crystal went on like I don't know. I felt like it might have been like 15 minutes.
Yeah, she talked for a long time.
But it was a tirade. She was screaming. She was just really upset. You know, she was cloaking it or like she was just talking all types of shit with her, but was like basically like, you don't give a damn about your kids if you are doing this, right? So that was kind of like her, I guess, her takeaway point.
Being a bad mother. It was like you were being a bad
you are a bad mother. You're being a bad parent. I don't agree with that, guys. And not even about. My point is larger than Cardi B because I feel like in this, and I know, like I feel like it's the economy changing, the trad wife like uptick in that type of content. The girls are getting more conservative, are really trying to police other people because I've seen like degular folks announce pregnancies and motherfuckers would be in the comments like without a ring.
Oh yeah,
y'all need to calm down.
But that only happens on social media. Nobody in real life is going to walk up to you and say that to you. I think that is also the
they might not say
weird distinction of what the phenomenon that is social media empowering people to say crazy things that will get you punched in the mouth in real life.
Exactly. But the caveat is that a lot of people live their lives online and they are not outside talking to people, which is why they feel so comfortable doing that. There are some who just, they be trying to do it behind like pictures and they know like if somebody see them outside, they get snuffed. But a lot of them do not engage. They don't have any real friends outside the internet. Like they are squarely on their phones, on their computers. But I don't think it's okay to comment about a woman
her smooth out and called her a stupid bitch and a bad mother.
And there
was a lot to her tirade that were factual.
It was just in it. But who are you to tell somebody? And that is my thing. You can feel how you want to feel. I have feelings, which I'm going to share, but you cannot actively scream and yell and tell someone that they are a bad parent unwarranted. Like, she didn't ask you shit. And
that's the thing. Everybody has they really have a platform. That's her job to comment on pop culture.
Right. But when you don't comment on Beyonce, when you don't have that same type of venom for her, people can see that you're biased. Yes. And I think that you're biased in part because Crystal has a lot of shit that goes on with her. She don't have a relationship with her family, right?
Her parents. I guess specifically her parents or something. Yeah.
She does. I feel like she has some ire with Cardi specifically being like a Black Latina. I think that there's some
I don't know.
Just that she receives a privilege, that's what we talked about. And she does not necessarily feel like she is worthy of it because of her actions, like getting pregnant, staying with Offset. Like there's been times where I just feel like, this girl's getting cheated on and you cussing her out because she's staying with him. As if you don't know how relationships dynamics work and you don't know her state of mind. You don't know
for the background for folks who don't listen to that show, she's also she has a background in like mental health,
which is another
she's a counselor.
thing.
She has a background. She's a mental.
She's not
licensed, but she went to school for mental health counseling. She has a master's degree in mental health counseling. Has acted and has done supervised sessions as a therapist. She has a background in this, but she does not practice and is not licensed.
She never intended to practice. She said that she wanted it so that she could read people on her podcast.
No, and so she can understand how therapy changed her life, not to use it to read other people. But whatever. So yes, go ahead. Keep going.
So yes, thank you, friend. Thank you. Now, I feel like people need to get told, like, you have to shut the fuck up. Nobody, like, you have a platform and, like, we give our opinions about things, but I don't feel like we are actively, unless somebody has really done something that is absolutely horrible. Like, we talk big shit about, like, Trump and all that stuff, but Cardi is irresponsible, right? Because it's irresponsible based on the facts that we have as a general public. Yes. We don't know when her and Stefan started talking. Yeah. We don't know the conversations that they had prior to her getting pregnant. Now, the fact, I think, just from inferring, the fact that he has all these babies around the same time, they were not exclusive. They were talking. I don't think that she really took him seriously, but there are videos of Stefan when WAP came out, and he was putting the bird call out, trying to holler at her. I think that he has always wanted to be
that nigga is a scoundrel. I didn't know this part.
Is.
Not him trying to siphon a married woman away from her husband. That is crazy.
Absolutely.
These niggas are messy.
They are messy. They are messy. Especially because it's an open secret that Offset didn't give a shit about her. So I don't agree with the fact that, so there are things about their dynamic and what she shared that I don't think is healthy for her, but I'm not going to call her a stupid ass, dumbass bitch because she's not making the choices that I would or that I think are correct, because we have to give space for people to live their lives and make those mistakes. Now, to say that she's not a good mother, because I don't know, because we're actually, when you go to the Bridges and Breakdown segment, we're going to talk about some of that. But I was raised by my parents, well, primarily my mom, but I had a village that took care of me and my brother when my mom was working, because my mom had a very demanding job that did not have a lot of leeway. And I always wanted, I always wanted a sister. I wanted the little sister, and my mom wouldn't have no more kids or whatever. That's neither here nor there. But there is nothing wrong with having your family come in and help you with the rearing of your children. So the fact that she is very serious about the education, she gets them additional tutoring. They have the extracurriculars. Her family, they got a chef that's specifically
Which is
for the
all
kids.
things that Cardi has provided in response to this. Like, we're not inferring. These are things that Cardi has come back and said in response to being
told that she's a terrible mom.
Yeah, she's kind of, been defensively responded, and from the place of, I do this. This is how I approach. I take being a mother very seriously. I have to respond to this, and this is how I demonstrate being an active and involved mom.
She was restating. If you are a fan of Cardi, if you watch her Instagrams, you could see that she was very involved and cares deeply about their well-being. Now, I think her having Blossom, I get that was still your husband, you wanted to have fun, but I remember them being on Instagram and she was drunk as hell, even after they had broke up, and you could tell that it's New Year's Eve, she trying to fuck some. She did the man who, and then she got pregnant, and that's when they made Blossom.
Yeah.
So it's you knew that man was a dog. Maybe you wanted to try one more time because you loved him so much, and I believe that she really did. And I can understand why she did to a certain extent, but that was, you know how I feel about Sagittarius men, so that's why I'm saying that. But I think that was very irresponsible. Her having this child with Stefan is also irresponsible because you were not choosing to use protection, and it's clear that he does not use protection with anybody because he has all these children.
Allegedly 4 under 1, which is nuts.
And they're all around
under of 1.
Right.
And you're on Instagram Live 7 months pregnant, talking to other potential baby mamas, talking about he our baby father. And hello, Barbara, this is Shirley. That's crazy.
Well, it's crazy, but those women are coming out the woodwork because Cardi is his top baby mama, and they feel some type of way.
And this dynamic is nuts. And this is a lot of the degeneracy that we're describing right now. This is not a healthy environment for children to have to also coexist as siblings. It's weird. And the nigga is also weird too. How the first comment you make publicly when somebody asks you about her being pregnant is, yeah, I heard. I'll knock all this shit over. What do you mean? Yeah, I heard. It's weird. It's weird. It's a nigga you're supposed to have fun with, not have a baby with. But that's not my box to police. That is not my vagina.
And that is my point.
She has autonomy to do whatever she wants. She's grown. But I also think that Cardi does open herself up for commentary and critique by virtue of, one, her being a celebrity. You invite us in to engage with you, and that's how you make money. Us being interested in you, us engaging and consuming your life, your content, your music, what you're offering. And also, we got into some of there are parts of the lyrics and what she has personally said that opens her up for some of this. I disagree.
I disagree.
Because
I
think it does.
When she said she would rather die on the surgery table, she was talking about looking like Bia.
No.
Bia is boxy. But she was not talking about a snapback or nothing. And also, she was roasting her. You say shit. You be hyperbolic.
That honestly was not the first line that she has rapped about rather dying on us getting plastic surgery than looking like somebody else. It's absolutely been about her. Her not wanting to be, she has a history of
getting liposuction.
Of getting all type of procedures. Her body and her face do not look like that naturally. And this is not a critique of people having plastic surgery.
No.
But when you out of your own mouth say, I'd rather die than look like you, as an indication of I'd rather be dead than ugly. I'd rather be dead than fat. And then for somebody to say, I hope you don't die. If that is your mentality and your relationship with if that is your relationship
with you
procedures,
actually hope that? No, I don't think that came from a genuine place from Crystal. But you were just trying to.
You don't think Crystal meant that, or you don't think Cardi meant that?
Crystal.
I
don't think Cardi meant it because I think that she was just talking shit. And I think for people to take that and be like, you said it, so that's why Crystal could say she hope you don't die, when Crystal don't give a damn if she die or not. In fact, that will make her feel even more vindicated if she does.
I don't know if that girl feels that way. I legitimately don't.
Crystal is a angry Annie. And there is nothing that can make her happy unless you're Beyonce. And I'm sorry.
That's so funny. I'll say this, as I am not Crystal, I am Alyzza. And I was bothered legitimately by some of that commentary from Cardi.
Yes.
And honestly, as a person who also has like, again, this is the public health corner over here. When we're talking about high-risk pregnancies, we're talking about, we don't know all of Cardi's medical history, right? But I know she smokes cigarettes. I know she drinks alcohol. I know she is working to promote the hell out of this album, this record. She's working really long and hard. She talks about openly the struggle she had with her most recent baby, how the baby was low birth weight, how she had no appetite. She had medical issues and risk because she was stressed out behind Offset. All of the things that went into making for a really dangerous and risky delivery for mom and baby. And for you now to, when that baby is 5 months old, for you to be pregnant by another man and to definitively say, this is not going to impact my tour. Why we even talk, like, this is not going to impact my work because I'm going to snap back from this. I'm going to work hard. I've been stretching. I've been doing all these things. Everything is going to be fine. There's a lot, unfortunately, that is beyond your control when it comes to pregnancy. And God forbid, I'm saying this not in jest, sincerely, because I don't wish death or harm on any mother, definitely not a Black mother and a Black baby. There are things that you don't control when it comes to pregnancy and postpartum. And I would hate for any and all of that to have not been like, you cannot, as a matter of fact, say that. You hope for that. You cannot plan for that. And even getting back, like every time Beyonce has done it, she's regretted it and said, I shouldn't have worked that hard after I had these twins to get right back in shape and to be working as hard as I did. And for this to now be your fourth child and for you to not have really even taken that much of a break between your pregnancies, there is a lot of risk that comes along with you working that hard even after God, Lord willing, you have an uncomplicated pregnancy. You don't have to have a C-section. You don't have any complications with mom or baby. In what reality does that make sense for that to be what you have to do to keep up with a tour schedule? And honestly, then having a newborn and 3 other children on tour with you.
But
as
the
a
kids
parent,
are not going on tour with her.
The baby's not even going on tour with her? Her infant,
Blossom,
her newborn?
Blossom, but the other 2 aren't. They're not going on tour.
The newborn is also what I'm talking about.
Well, so she's 1 year old.
No.
You talking about baby Brim? Oh, yeah.
I hate that we call that baby Brim, but yes, the baby, whoever the baby is. Yes, that is a very, granted, the girl has long money to make them as comfortable as possible. It is still not a gold standard or the best case scenario, right, for what the immediate postpartum, and postpartum is, there are lots of definitions. It's a long time, right? Your body is not back to baseline, honestly, for 2 years after you have a baby. But that is just, I wouldn't wish that on anybody, to have to do that, and to say that you don't control, you literally do not control how that baby is going to come earthside and what you are physically and mentally, the state of your body and your mind once that baby is here. And the 3 months after you're on tour, that's actually, you're putting a lot of dip on your chip, niece. And I just don't think that it's Europe. I don't think that it's something that we cannot have a conversation about or have an opinion about with you definitively saying it's all going to.
Well, yes, but what you're saying is not what Crystal is saying. I think that that's how she tried to rationalize it after some people had like whoa, you might be going too hard. She was trying to make it all about the children. You're talking about like it is about the children to a certain extent. But again, her oldest children will be.
Yeah, I didn't know. I thought they would come on tour with her, but if they're staying home because they have nannies and they have family, that makes sense. They're old enough to be in school and to stay home.
And she wants them to be in school because she is a mother that wants to be cognizant of that. Yeah, you know, just like Beyonce now tours. Most in the summertime, during the summertime,
so the kids can come with her, and it's vacation. Yeah, it's my summer vacation.
But what I will say is that Cardi has said that her label was open to her pushing it back. What I think, the reason why she's trying to do it now is because she knows that the general public has been wanting a tour, and because she's now pregnant, she's trying to show to herself, but to others, that she can just do it.
Yeah.
And because what she really does, she really wants to. right? Because before I feel like she was afraid, she had got pregnant, she was doing performances, but like she also was trying to keep track of that nigga. All that stuff was kind of hampering, I think, her desire. But
she wants to do this for herself. I think she wants to prove it to herself.
To prove to herself that she's capable.
And I think that is honestly something. I love how this segment has been like a Trojan horse for us to talk about all types of things with like motherhood and womanhood.
Yeah, which I always expected it to.
And I think it's an unreasonable expectation to put on yourself to be to have to do that. Like I feel like it's a dummy mission for her to be like, I'm gonna prove this to me. For what? It doesn't feel like a smart or a responsible decision. And this might be problematic.
She might push it back, which is also okay.
Yeah, that also is like, I'm sure they have the tours insured to the gods. Like if she has to push it back, it's like, girl, why not? Give yourself a little bit more time. That fourth baby might not be, like things might not happen the way you're talking about. And the level of support you have is all good. And the village is fine. But what happens in that hospital when that baby decides to come is literally out of your hands. And you cannot plan for what your recovery will definitively look like. And on a schedule, on a timeline that is like lined for a national tour, it feels silly to kind of set yourself up to have to do that. But I will say, this is the problematic part that we might disagree. I do think it is a fair critique, and I would have the same criticism for a nigga doing this. And by nigga, I mean a man. For you to have gotten pregnant when the baby was I guess Blossom was probably around 5 months old. For people who are saying that like you're the pinnacle of being there with your children and you spend all of your time and you are present as a parent, especially for 2 young children and a career, even with all the help you have. I think it's really a lack of self-awareness that I think some parents have with giving yourself more credit than is due. For you to have been able to be spending enough time with a new nigga to even date, court, let me hear me out. To even be to the point where you're chasing behind another nigga and spending enough time with him. She said her family's like, go have fun, enjoy. You're separated. Go enjoy. Okay. To be spending enough time to have gotten to know somebody and gotten pregnant with a 5-month-old at home is crazy. I do not think that you are giving yourself a reasonable amount of what being present with small children, 3 at this point, mean if you are finding enough time to do all of that. Don't think you have all the money in the world. It does not give you time. It buys up, like people are taking care of your responsibilities, right? You've created an environment where your kids are safe. But to say, I think it's really delusional to pretend as though we are believing that girl was spending as much time with her kids as she is saying she was, and also being able to be on a road with another nigga partying and getting pregnant by a man who is not your 5-month-old's baby daddy. That's crazy to me. You do not have enough time to be present like that. And the needs of an infant, baby,
your assumption is that she started talking to him. At least I'm thinking. I don't know. You can correct me. This is your show.
You said WAP. I don't assume when she started talking to this nigga.
Right. But what I'm saying is, she might have decided, like talking to him while Blossom was in utero, right? During all that time, because she got pregnant. She got pregnant in January, but I feel like by March, Offset had did something, and like it was clear they was on the outs or whatever.
Okay, so even if you start talking to the nigga while you're 3 months pregnant, a year from then you're getting pregnant. Like the baby's only 5 months.
Right. But what I'm saying is, if they talked and they built enough rapport while she was pregnant with Blossom, he was there for her, whatever, and they were recklessly having sex, it don't take a lot.
It does, especially all you get. That's not true. It actually takes a lot to get pregnant.
Because she got pregnant with Blossom. We can pinpoint it.
We don't know these people. We don't know these girls.
But what I'm saying is, if her and Offset were not together, we saw them partying together in the club because he followed her to the club that night, and then she was pregnant. So even within that time frame, it's very clear that that's when he got her pregnant, because before that they were separated. Is what I'm saying.
The time and the mental energy that it takes, legitimately. Bitch, you would not be having no 5-month-old baby at home and you out in the club with another nigga. You would not be, because you're responsible.
Right, but I'm not saying that. We saw her on Valentine's Day with him. They went out on a date. That was the first time that
I'm not being funny. Who is the him?
I'm talking about her and what's his name? Stefan.
Okay. So Blossom came in September, and you're saying by February she was out with
she was out. We saw her out on a date with him.
Okay,
right. That was the first time that and then they weren't public. She didn't come out publicly to say that was a guy she was dating until June.
And that's about 5 months after Blossom was there. Yeah, so let's just assume that because that's when we don't even know when she's due. But she's
which is another thing, because I feel like she's due sooner.
The margin of error is probably 1 or 2 months at most, y'all.
Right,
you cannot debate me that having a child that is still of nursing age and you are out in the streets with a whole nother man to the point of reproducing with a whole nother partner. You're right. I don't know how long they were, and like you said, Stefan, if there are he got 2 or 3 other kids coming around the same time.
Right. So
even his time was not accounted
casually,
for.
Right. But they were casually dating.
And it's all messy. Irresponsible. And I'm saying that you, as my real friend, if you were, even if you were dealing with the same
me as my real friend,
that your baby needs you more than these niggas need you. And yes, you can have your fun, but getting pregnant by another man while your baby is 5 months old is irresponsible. And it is honestly a lack of judgment as a parent. For sure. I absolutely think that is open for critique to say that's poor pussy management, 1. And it also is not in the best interest of your children to be out here getting pregnant with a whole nother set of family dynamics that you now have to integrate with your kid while your 5-month-old is at home and you're missing out on premium time, bonding and spending time and creating a secure attachment with that child and the other 2 children that you have. I think that's gross. I think it's bad. I think it is open to critique to say that, yeah, you are a present mom and you also in ways probably are not as present as you are trying to give yourself credit for, because that's
I just think that, 1, what's the older guys everybody tells us one way to get over one nigga is to get under another one. If her family and her friends was telling her that, plus he was actively on her body.
Yeah, and there are ways to not get pregnant is my point.
There are ways to not get pregnant. But again, I remember I got into a little fight, well, not my actual little brother, but like a play little brother, and was just telling me basically, condoms for what? Women just need to have an abortion. Stop trying to trap men. And this is a very regular type of man with a brain, for the most part. He is a bit of a contrarian. People don't like to wear condoms, and they have condomless sex. It is not appropriate. It is not right. But we don't know, the condom could have broke. Saying that he had all these children, I think it's safe to say that he just don't use condoms.
Which what also, I do. Oh, go ahead.
We have not taken into effect that Cardi is a Catholic, and although she has come out,
I don't know nothing about that. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
she's
guess
Catholic.
No, I'm saying I figured she was like of some type of Christian faith, but I didn't know she was like a practicing Catholic, and a Catholic to the sense that people be picking and choosing what parts of religion they want to abide by.
Absolutely.
So you're talking about this girl be drinking and smoking and doing all the things, and the one thing she does believe in is no contraception.
No, I'm not saying no contraception, but no abortion.
Oh, no abortion. Because some Catholics don't believe in contraception either.
Right. I know. They be doing they be testing. Yeah. But I'm just saying the abortion
you saying she
part.
Doesn't believe in a...
Yeah, because I think even the fact that she hated Offset's guts, right? And I
kept baby...
And
Blossom.
kept baby Blossom. And I mean, I just think that she would feel bad. And she probably saw the child, the one that she's currently carrying, as a blessing.
Yeah. And she talks about the baby as such. And the baby,
I think because
telling people she could have aborted her baby is crazy. Like
but that is where this conversation goes when you are openly attacking a woman for her choices while she's pregnant. I just think that I think you can have your feelings about it. I don't like, if the idea is that we care about the mother's health and we want her to make good decisions outside of the fact that she's maybe not be making the best decisions for her children. If we really care about her health and her stress, having all these people on the internet telling you should have used your butt, have an abortion, like that is not healthy either. And also, if my best friend told me, like, bitch, you fucking up, I still probably feel some type of way, but you're my best friend. We have a relationship.
Not a stranger on the internet.
Right.
Not a stranger on the internet.
Because even if somebody from the
I would
podcast,
absolutely be like, your ass needs to be at home with this goddamn baby.
Exactly.
Like, I do want you to go out and have fun. That means go out for the night and come home. That don't mean go out here and make another family with the nigga, okay? That is not what fun means.
All I'm saying is, one little drunken night, you're not on birth control.
Which is the irresponsible part and the bad decision making. And that is my point. And that does affect your kids. So yes, these are all things
but
that are open
is
to
an extrapolation. Yes, it does affect your kids, but Crystal does not know her kids. Anything that we see about her children online, they seem happy, well adjusted.
They do.
Despite their father and his fuck shit. When we see baby Blossom, right? She love her mama, kissing on her, all that stuff. When Offset came to pick her up that day, she was looking at him like, who is this nigga? So it's very clear he had not been around her. So
yeah.
I'm just saying that it would leave pregnant women alone. Pregnant women and pregnant people alone, because
don't stress out a pregnant lady. At this point, there's nothing you can do. The baby is literally on the way. Like, I get it. I get that. Stressing that lady out behind this. And because you're not a fan and you don't care. And I think that's your point. Is like, you're doing it to be nasty and spiteful and mean. You're not saying it from a place of concern because you really don't care.
Because you really don't care. Because if you did care, you would not have approached that call in with that much vitriol.
She came in hot. I definitely was confused. I was like, whoa, this is a lot. I don't understand where all the anger is coming from.
Did she fuck your nigga? And then on top of all of that, she said that Stefan was ugly. So it's like, so bitch, I know you really shooting from the neck.
First of all, JT's little her diss record talking about being outmugged by your nigga. She ate that little thing. I'm sorry. Stefan,
But Stefan be stepping.
He's
having his
prettier than Cardi. And I think she understands that too. Like, she's not the prettiest person in that relationship, and it's fine.
But who cares?
He's not ugly. He's not
ugly at all. And like, Crystal, like, you ain't been divorced from Dick that long to not realize that man is fine as hell. Even with the neck braids. Get the fuck out of here. But I will say, what I do. Go ahead. I'm cool with the critiques. I do feel like people are making assumptions based on what you would do as a responsible adult.
And I think Mother of the Year, you are not for being out here making those type of choices with a 5-month-old at home. I do not think that you're ever going to argue that is a responsible or a healthy choice for you.
But how do we know that she was out in the streets all the time? What if she went out a couple times and got pregnant? I just think that we putting 10 on 20.
You're making the stretch.
I'm not making excuses, but I'm just
saying. No, I don't think it's an excuse. I'm saying the stretch you're making to say that, like, she Berto. It might have been like one night a month. We don't know how.
We don't know, but to assume the worst.
She's very busy. Oh, not even the worst. I think to assume that's reasonable. To spend a lot of time with a man and to be, these are not little dates that she's like, they don't even live in the same place. So it's like, if you're spending time with him for weeks on end or weekends on end, with a 5-month-old at home and 2 older children and a busy schedule that already takes you away from them. Yes, you're a working mother and mama need a life too. And I think that it is also okay to say that I think if a nigga was doing this, I would feel the same way. If Offset got somebody pregnant within 5 months of his newest baby being born, I think that's disgusting. I think that that's trifling. I think that that's poor penis management. And I don't think that's going to be a healthy decision that's going to impact your kids in the immediate or in the immediate sense in a healthy way. Yeah, I just am saying Mother of the Year, that does not make you.
Okay, and I'm fine with that because I don't think she should be cursing in front of her kids. And I curse a lot, Chad.
Yeah,
so
and I don't curse in front of my kids. But...
and I do curse in front of kids, but it's not on purpose. I think that there are things that she could do that would be more appropriate, but I don't.
But yeah, she seems like a good mom. She seems to be a mom.
She seems like and she's really trying.
Yeah,
and she really likes her. She likes having kids.
She clearly
she loves her kids.
She enjoys being a mom. I think she enjoys being a mom for sure.
And
I wish more moms had the support that she has to actually allow them to live their best lives, and the duality that exists with you are not just a mom. Like we talked about that this season on the show. Like it is okay to have interest and explore them. I also think there is a time and a place, and developmentally, a 5-month-old is still waking up every 3-4 hours to nurse. And for the mama to be gone, chasing behind a nigga, I think is questionable.
But phrase that she was chasing behind a nigga when it's very clear that nigga was chasing behind her.
Yeah, they was chasing behind each other.
She also talked about if she was somewhere for work, she was in Atlanta. She was like, that nigga flies to me. She was flying places to chase after Offset.
To get a check.
No, to chase after Offset. Okay. Yeah. But so I think that he's better than what Offset is. She's excited about it.
Well, I think I have no comment on that yet because this nigga seems a little wild too.
He's
Offset
wild,
is also
but
terrible. Offset is
Offset is terrible. He's evil, right?
Yes.
Like, he's evil. I think that Stefan is, I think now that they have decided that they're going to be an item, which he said,
they're
He
together.
has said that
that's her boyfriend. That's my girlfriend.
Said that he is not single, and that people need to stop trying to insinuate that because it'll get him in trouble. So they are in a relationship together.
Okay,
but she has acknowledged that yes, he has these other children, and if he is indeed the father of your children, then we will be a family. And I think that she's demonstrated that with Offset's gaggle of children that he had prior to. She loves kids. She don't think that they should have any blame in the mess that their parents do, and she wants them to be, I guess, as healthy and well adjusted. Because even now, she still includes Offset's daughter. Mm-hmm. For Culture's birthday and stuff. So I just not too much on mothers.
Yeah.
On mothers. On
what I will give her 10s on, speaking of being with this man who, they were clearly not monogamous for the first part of the relationship, for him to have so many women pregnant at the same time. I appreciate Cardi's recent PrEP campaigns.
Yes.
PrEP, for those who don't know, that is pre-exposure prophylaxis, which is a FDA-approved, safe, efficacious prophylaxis to prevent HIV. So it's like think about birth control. You take birth control to prevent getting pregnant. PrEP is a safe prescription for people who are at risk for HIV. So anybody who have sex unprotected or condomless sex, Black women actually are one of the fastest growing demographics of new incidents of HIV. So when I looked this up, the last national HIV strategy, when we had an Office for HIV policy, which is no longer a priority under this new regime. But Black women were prioritized, as we accounted for well over half of the new cases of HIV among women, like consistently over the past 5 years. Black women only make up about 12% of the population of Black people make up 12% of the population.
12%. So we're a percentage of that 12%.
So of that, and for us to be representing over half of the new cases of HIV amongst all women in this country, it is serious. So PrEP is something that most commonly is talked about in like LGBT space, or not even L,
or just
gay and trans. Gay and trans people. Gay and trans people. It's definitely been something that community has been prioritized to take to prevent HIV.
Yeah.
And now it is something that we are trying to make sure Black women have access to and information about. And so she recently talked about her experience and her support taking taking PrEP to prevent HIV. And I think her speaking up really does help reduce stigma.
The stigma.
I think it gets people curious about what it is. I think it helps increase, education and interest. At least people can learn a little bit more about the benefits of what PrEP is. And that's really important for somebody at that status to be talking about something that can be so stigmatized. It's like, we need to be talking about it.
We absolutely need to be talking about it, because the number of Black women that contract HIV and are unknowingly doing so because of the partners that they're engaging
with. It's not because the Black women are having more promiscuous or more, their behavior is not more or more risky. It's that just the networks of sex partners, you're having sex, and a lot of times it's not DL men, right? Let's not talk about that trope of it's because y'all sex with men who are having sex with men. That's not necessarily what is also accounting for. Honestly, it's just people having.
I don't know the numbers, so I'm agreeing with you. You're the epidemiologist. Yeah. I just know that there is a faction of men who have sex with men, and I think, and they don't consider themselves to be
They don't
gay.
consider themselves gay. They think of it more as a behavior, not a identity.
Identity, right?
So, yes, there is, and that's among all types of men: Black men, Latino men,
right?
Lots of men of color, but.
And because you don't know that those men feel that way, that's even more reason, because they still identify as straight, and I am the type of person that unless I'm not attracted to you, I'm going to take you at your word. Anyway, we're not getting into that. But I'm just saying, like, if somebody is like, oh, I'm bi or I'm pansexual, if I'm attracted to you and you're monogamous,
it doesn't matter, because we're together. And I think the issue in terms of the behavioral risk is that it's people who are not who are not being monogamous, who are not having one partner. And so it doesn't matter if it's man, girl, man, woman, lady, whoever. Non-binary. You are having sex with multiple partners without condoms, and you are having sex with these Black women who are potentially not under the impression that they are the only ones in a monogamous relationship and you are not in a monogamous relationship. So this being a perfect example, and I think in Cardi's live, she kind of talked about that, right? Like her and by virtue, her and Stefan, they weren't exclusive at first. Y'all are having sex, y'all are having fun. You don't want to use condoms, and he's doing that with other people. That introduces risk for you to contract a lot of STIs, any and all of them, honestly. And so if there is a way for you to protect yourself, there are vaccines, right, to prevent things like HPV. There are...
I just finished mine.
Congratulations. We believe in vaccines over here.
Yes, we do.
But yeah, I was grateful and pleasantly surprised. And I think Dua Lipa is another person who recently was talking about PrEP. Yeah, which is...
She was actually there. She was at the event.
It was an
event. Yeah. So it was like Mr. I think is the name of the company.
Okay.
But yeah,
the pharmaceutical company, I think they're like brand ambassadors for PrEP. And there are different pharmaceutical companies that create...
It's like Hims. You know how they got like the Hims and hers?
Yeah,
I think that they figure out how to get PrEP to folks without the rigmarole of like going to a doctor and stuff. But yeah, Dua Lipa, because Dua Lipa has a lot of gay fans, but also women, because I'm like, I don't know what Dua Lipa, no, they call, I forget the name.
What the fan base is?
Yeah, I'm a part of the fan base, but I can't remember our name right now. I'm on the spot.
Your cat is hell right now. You don't know what y'all are called.
I skate in.
Like, oh, what is it?
But yeah, but I love Dua Lipa. And I think, well, this is not about Dua Lipa, but yes, I think it was great that she was there. I also feel like
y'all are called Loves. Is that the fan base name?
I was thinking. Perhaps. I don't know.
Because the name is the Albanian word for Dua means love.
Love. Right.
So y'all are called Loves.
I was thinking about what black people be calling her. Never mind. They be like, Duo Peep or something. I forget. Like she goes by another name that was specifically people mispronouncing her name.
Oh, okay.
And I want to say it was black people, and that's what I was thinking of. But yes, Loves is the whatchamacallit. I'm a mocha love. Like I'm a mocha grande.
Cute.
But yeah. But Cardi, because I remember when Tamar, which, I love the Braxtons, all their messiness. But she was like, girl, I live in Atlanta. I gotta take PrEP. And I did not like that because you're framing it like
as if like, it's men down here that's having sex with me.
Exactly. And I mean, now granted, I have some gay male friends, and I know that, they have some, or that person engages in what I would consider a bit riskier sexual practices, but because they're on PrEP, they're like, all right, well, anything else I can kind of cure, with the exception.
Men in the community
like one or two
are
things.
also going to, I think gay men are more likely to also to be testing more frequently. Right. So there's more ownership over when you know that you are in a high risk community, which the epidemic has primarily affected especially in this country, gay men and black gay men and trans women. So you're more responsible with like making sure you're actually getting, you're going to test more often. You're on your PrEP. You are more involved in like an advocate for yourself. And honestly, knowing your status is a big part of prevention. So straight men don't have the same rap. I'm sorry.
No,
a lot of times you gotta beat a straight man over the head to go to the doctor. And the only time a lot of y'all want to go is when something stops working with your penis. So it's not the same. So I get the backhandedness of like her framing this as I'm down here with all these DL men, and it's like, okay, girl, let's focus on the positive. Let's advocate for black men taking care of their health and not making it about what the men are doing. So we can take responsibility and ownership for our own behavior. What we can't control is taking that damn pill every day. That's what you can't do.
Right, because if you catch it early enough, like there's, a wealth of like medication that can keep it in the
people
HIV
live very healthy,
stage.
Normal, healthy lives. At this point, like early medication is treatment is prevention. So if there are discord in couples where like one person might have HIV and the other person does not, and that person honestly having a low viral load because your partner is actually taking care of their HIV status, you're less likely to get it from them than someone who doesn't know their status and who's just out here. So yes, it can be dangerous not knowing your own status and your own information.
And what's crazy, which I know it ain't gonna get better under this current administration, because my OB-GYN, And then she's actually an OB-GYN. You'll see my joke later on about an OBGYN. She automatically, like, you know, she'll do like the trick
you have to
and all
opt
that
out
stuff.
of testing. You have to tell her don't do it.
Like she'd be like, okay, go around the corner and get your blood drawn. And I loved it because I used to, like, my doctor prior to her would kind of be like, bitch, what you been out here doing? Because I'd be like, I would like a full screening, HIV, and like, you know, she was kind of like a little judgy. When I was telling her, and again, I was in a monogamous, as far as I knew, relationship. But you know,
it's a good practice. I think I like when physicians kind of
because
have the posture of like, let's just check for good measure because you don't know.
But then she's like, well, what are you doing? And I'm like, that
it ain't what I'm doing.
There.
And it ain't your business. Well, it is your business because you're my doctor.
Right.
But, yeah.
But no, I had a PCP years ago. I was still like in high school. She's like, well, I called them. She was like Spanish, like from Spain. And I was like, but I'm probably gonna marry a black man. Like, cause she was telling me like, even when you marry, wear a condom. And I'm like,
that's so fun. You're like, girl, anybody doing all that?
If it be like, I'm gonna wear a condom with my wife, you gonna have me in trouble. She was like, no, trust me. PrEP is a blessing in that regard.
Yeah.
I mean,
it is.
But even
it gives you a way to take responsibility for your own behavior.
You should still be getting tested regularly. And if you don't have a gem of a doctor like mine that will do it regardless of insurance, because I owe a big bill because the goddamn insurance didn't want to cover it because I guess I had to get authorization. Like, I feel like that's just a part of preventative care, but whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I gotta pay for the damn test. But nevertheless,
yes,
advocate for yourself, ladies.
Yes, Lord.
Shout out to Cardi B for coming out. I mean, it makes sense from a branding perspective. Everybody calling her irresponsible to having sex with Stefan, who, you know, there's rumors, although I feel
Lord,
like he kind of put them to rest.
I forgot that JT's been talking about his sexuality and him.
Right.
Yep, that is true. Yeah.
But so I think it like, it's just like things come to her that's like, this was perfect because I mean, I do think that, because, you know, football players, and they be putting them on stuff like, look, we know you're doing this, so whatever. So he might have been on PrEP regardless, just because they know how his sexual stuff might be.
Because the NFL is very much incentivized to keep you in tip-top shape and health. So
they can't have one of their best, whatever his thing is, because I think he's supposed to be really good.
Yeah, he's really good.
Yes. You know, I don't fully believe in football.
Well, I don't believe
I follow the players and the Eagles, but I don't really like football.
I don't believe in playing football.
Right.
Just the safety of it. I think, we have opinions, but
no,
we'll watch it. I am married to a man, and I do have a daddy, and I do have brothers.
I'll be ruining it.
Football, but
look at that head, just shaking their brain up in there. Don't watch football with me. I'm a killjoy. But yeah, shout out to her. She also has a campaign with Bobby. I think it's Bobby, but whatever.
Yeah, we talked
if it's
about
Bobby,
that earlier.
Who knows? But yeah, that was really cool because I think she also is like working with Elaine Welteroth's company too. I just saw like they had like a combo ad, and it was kind of centered around her recent court stuff. Because it was like, she was reading a newspaper and it said not guilty, but it was like mothers who breastfeed or something, or mothers who use formula are not guilty of like not caring for their kids.
Yeah,
like they tried to like wrap it in there.
Her staying in and out of court. Yeah, because there's definitely, I think, a lot of commentary on what's best for babies and again, policing of women and wanting to tell mothers
and their decisions,
right? Not to take Tylenol, not to do this, not to do that. And once the babies are here, a fed baby is
a healthy baby.
A healthy baby. Yeah. So however you want to feed your children, as long as it is a legitimate source of nutrition.
Yeah.
Or formula fed, they're fine. It's fine.
And just remember that RFK Jr. has no scientific background.
No.
So you don't have to listen to him at all. I mean, I know that our listeners don't, but I'm just saying, make sure you like tell others that might not have no sense.
Yeah.
Of like his background, because he just pulling stuff out his ass at this point. And I just think it's crazy because you have a clear condition that you could be working on to remedy.
It sounds like death. That's what he got going on, and a heroin addiction. I
have a very, very funny video for no context, specifically about RFK Jr., which was why I had to mention him so that it will make sense.
Well, he came up regardless because we was talking about, this Trump administration has their fingerprints all over current events right now. We've already been. I feel like we're not going to be able to get to Big Sister General and talk about Kamala. So we'll have to figure out another way to interject and have some commentary colorfully. Because I have thoughts. And again, I'm never beating the nonfiction allegations because I finished this book and I got my life, and honestly, girl, there's a lot to say. There's a lot to contend with. So we'll talk about that on another day. But what we can do, because looking at time, we can't keep y'all here forever. We have to make time to honor and acknowledge that we over here, Bridges and Breakdown, are bereaved. Sincerely.
Yeah.
Michael Eugene Archer, belovedly known as D'Angelo, is now with the ancestors after an aggressive, it sounds like quick fight with pancreatic cancer. D'Angelo passed away this Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the age of
51.
14.
51. And it took my breath away when I got that. Who reported on it first? It was like maybe I thought it wasn't real at first. It was like baller.com. Like it was not a real, it wasn't TMZ. It wasn't like, any of the
You reported it to me. I didn't know.
I hated to be the bearer of that news, but I didn't want you to find out.
I appreciate it.
In a bad way. Where do you even start? The artist, the brilliant griot, the soulful man that he was, it hit real different. Like a lot of artists have been transitioning and passing, but I think his age, one, it being so unexpected because he didn't share publicly about his battle with cancer, and the depth of, I tried to compare it to like the closest, most recent death to this felt like Frankie Beverly to me.
Yeah.
Just in terms of who he meant, what he meant and how cherished he was to Black people. He, I feel like, would just write the most beautiful love song you'd ever heard and then do it again, and then do it again, and then do it again, and then do it again. Just a masterful artist and bearer of Black soul music. Like, he just was an icon, a Richmond legend. What do you want to say? I know you have strong feelings, and I'm trying to give you a little bit of a runway. But no, the loss felt really heavy to me. I'm not gonna lie. I sat in my office and I waited till everybody left work that day, and I legitimately just sat there and cried. It just felt like such a loss.
Yeah, I'm like tearing up now. Okay, what can I say? So if you know me, and I feel like even through this
platform,
you have learned that music is deeply important, moving. It's like a part, aside from my family, my friends, I think that I don't love anything else more than I love music.
Yeah.
And it's been something that, like, from a little girl that I have had. And so my mom, you ask her, she'll tell you, like, I used to read liner notes like books. And so my dad, I'm jumping around because I'm scrambling because I'm crying, but my dad introduced me to Prince, and I found out that Prince, like, did it all the instrumentation, the vocal arrangements. He played all these different, and I used to hate it because, it's like dad music or whatever, but Prince was jamming. And he would always talk about how, like, these new cats not doing blah, blah, blah. So I always thought of Prince as like a standard of an artist because my dad really loved Prince. And so when I first heard Brown Sugar, we were young, right?
Kids,
so like, I just like, it would be like the stepper said, like, lady, like, I just knew, like, this was like grown people music, right? But I remember seeing him in the video and he looked cool, like he looked young. So I liked the music, but I always associated with like grown people. But I loved Brown Sugar as an album. My mama had it, I think, or somehow I had got it because I played it out. But when Voodoo came out, we were 11.
Yeah, we were grown.
Turning 11.
We were grown. Yeah, we were grown.
We were grown, right? And I remember being super excited because I really, really loved Brown Sugar. By that point, Brown Sugar was like an album that I played. And because I read the liner notes, I saw that D'Angelo was like Prince.
Yeah.
And he did everything himself. Like, Like, there was a couple of producers that had like helped him out. Like Raphael did the lady, Alicia, he did. I can't think of the song now, but like by and large,
Yeah.
D'Angelo did a lot of it. So when Voodoo came out, I was super excited because I'm like, finally. At this point, I was buying my own CDs with my own money, but I knew I would have to sneak, especially after the Untitled video came out.
Yeah.
And to that point, I just really loved his music, right? Like,
Yeah.
I noticed that he was handsome, but
Yeah.
again, I always associated D'Angelo with grown people stuff. So I liked Usher because Usher still seemed like a young, youthful, right? But I was like, oh,
I remember that video. Young me was
he
perched.
is fun, but I had to watch it like,
Yeah.
I had to watch it in secret because that would be like the one thing, like everybody be like, oh, close your eyes or go behind the couch or whatever. But I would be trying to stay up watching on the box or whatever. But I knew when I saw that video that my parents was not going to buy me the album, one.
That's so funny.
And they weren't going to take me to the concert.
Yeah.
So I had told myself, when I get grown, I'm going to go see D'Angelo. But I snuck and I bought Voodoo.
Yeah.
And that album was something.
It's so special. It still is. It's timeless. I've been wearing the treads off of his discography this week. And it's just like it transcends time
and it's very
and space,
beautiful.
and it will live on through generations,
forever.
Which is not something
absolutely.
really say for a lot of modern music. And that is what makes him part of what makes him so special. Just like you can tell how serious he took Black art and how devoted.
And the reverence. Yeah.
Yes.
And like also just this idea, like even though people consider him the godfather of neo-soul, he really rejected that because he just made Black music.
Yeah.
And he blended genres so beautifully. Like I felt like you could always hear the church no matter what.
Oh my God. He was Pentecostal to his bones, okay?
Right. And so it just, but then there was like hip hop, and then you could hear elements of jazz. So it was just, but he made it all work. And then he was beautiful. Like, and I knew that after Untitled, that he really rejected women, seeing him as like sex symbol appeal and stuff.
Yeah.
So out of respect, I didn't even put him on the list because I have always honored the fact that he wanted to be known.
He really affected him deeply.
It did, and it kept him from releasing music. Like it was one of the pitfalls that caused him a lot of strife. So I always was very cognizant of that.
Yeah.
And then when the Black Messiah came out, I was in law school.
Oh my God. Y'all, these are albums that are like, he made the 90s, the 2000s, and the 2010s. So in each decade, he created a sound for those decades.
He was the inspiration behind To Pimp a Butterfly.
Yes, inspired other transformative, definitive albums and other artists who were his peers. He set the trend. He set the tone. He set the standard for musicianship.
And like, open the doors. I'm calling it neo soul, but like he was like the catalyst that brought the wave in. And then you can throw a rock and you will likely have heard something that he produced. He would do the keys on it. He was always making music, even if he didn't have like features on it. Like, and I'm still learning more, and like it's been overwhelming to have like so much information about all of his genius and his love for music, because it's like, it's hard to find, especially in this day and age, because people don't care about, like, it burns my grits how much we care about numbers. I hate the change that we've had to streaming. Yeah. It's just like a lot.
When I was saying with him and Frankie Beverly, it's like, in terms of impact, you're not about to sit here and argue about charts and impressions and Hot 100 entries. Hayes and Frankie Beverly made music that was the soundtrack to our lives, our culture, that is connected to formative memories in everybody's lives. I don't care what type of Black you are. There is some type of integration of that music into your experience. And so it is deep. Even though we don't know them, their music is a part of our lives. It's a part of foundational core memories that we're going to go back to. And it's reasonable to grieve that. Like, you know them, it's a part of us. And that's of a true griot and a true musician who is a legacy act, right? And But that's what they are. I don't care. I'm not about to argue with you about charts. I couldn't tell you how many number ones he had and all. It
He
doesn't
actually
matter.
sold very well. I went and looked that up.
Okay.
The height matched the music, the claim, right? And that is a testament to how brilliant of an artist he was. And my only regret is that I was not able to see him.
I never saw him either. I feel you. I
had went back and asked my mom, because like I have really been grieving, like for real. And I was like, Mom, if I would have like made a case and like asked you, because I was thinking about how you went to go see Silk, but I know it's because they opened for Brandy.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. That was the sleeper. It was the Trojan horse. I saw Brandy.
Right. She was like, she thought about it. Because I was like, I might have blocked my own blessing by assuming that you wouldn't take me, because like my mom would let me do stuff that was adult, and we would just have a conversation about it so I could understand that you are a child, like, whatever. But she was like, nah, I wouldn't have took you. And so
and that honestly that's the right answer. Because like, especially the voodoo era, like women were throwing their drawers on stage.
Yeah, it was very, very wild.
We made it, like the crowd made it weird. Not D'Angelo.
No. Because but with that said, I will miss him.
Yeah.
I hate that he had to go out with such a painful disease. I hate that he never, I want to believe that he did find some peace. The struggles that he had with like making secular music, with like all of his grounding and all of that. And I think that he did, because Raphael Sadiq said he was working on music. So if he was like, they had a 4th album coming.
No.
Yeah. I remember seeing it.
I want to know what D'Angelo artistic interpretation of these times would be. Like, I want to know what the 2020s offering would be. Because Black Messiah, we didn't even get that was profound. Oh my God. The album is so rich. It is so poignant. It has such a perspective.
It's beautiful.
The music, the composition, it's incredible. He was just a brilliant artist. So talented, so beautiful. And also he was love. He was love.
And I think it's so cool to see like, okay, now this is a posthumous awarding. And because he's no longer here, I have to lift my spirits. He's getting Fine Nigga of the Year.
He's getting tens.
He's getting tens.
First of all, let me say, I saw your post about Virginia men. Let me just say, it was like a grid. It was like Devontae Swing, Michael Vick, Allen Iverson, D'Angelo. First of all, baby, I'm a blue McCall. Okay, give me a Richmond nigga. Okay, I got me one, and I never looked back. All right, shout out to 2 Up, 2 Down, Cap City Spartans over here. Love me a Virginia man. Love me one. All right.
I seen a video. The girl was dapping up tens in the Whole Foods.
At Wegmans. And Whole Foods. Whole Foods in Richmond?
And it was in Richmond. And I said,
I told you. Bitch, I'm going to bring you to Richmond, girl. I'm going to bring you to Richmond.
Yeah, for real.
Let's go visit the in-laws.
I need to go. Yeah, they love me, but I don't want to meet. Okay, anyway. But yeah, let's go to the Whole Foods.
Fine Nigga of the Year.
The Fine Nigga of the Year.
None other than D'Angelo. Peace to his children. Peace to his family. Anyone
hold on.
Oh, go ahead.
We have to discuss, because I have been holding this in. One, because all the older people in my life liked him, and people who had no business trying to chastise me and call me a whore, or calling me whores for like things that just my mind wasn't there, expressing that I thought that D'Angelo was attractive. I felt like I would be judged by that.
Okay.
So I never was able to share even like in my home, or like, like just among whatever. But that man had a face. Okay.
Yeah.
Like
the mug was there. The mug was
the
mugging.
mug.
I still call hip dips D'Angelo's.
Yes.
Like that was my introduction to that part of a man's body. And I was like, literally since 11. If I see with the little G.I. Joe muscles, those are D'Angelo's.
And I mean, you know how I feel about noses. He got a nose, bitch. Like a nose, his lips, his eyes, his jaw. Like he was so beautiful.
Yeah.
Like it. Yeah. Even when the nigga was dressing like Darkwing Duck, I still was like, I would. What the kids say? Would. And then all them clothes on. If he would have been like, let's go, I would have been there. I would have been there.
Oh my goodness.
So beautiful. Oh my God. So sexy. Yeah. Just sensual. And like, yeah. Yeah, take me through there.
Look, not this being the first man we agree on. 10 tens
10,
across
10,
the
10s.
board.
Man, did you see that video of Beyonce like
Oh, at the VMAs? I remember it live
yes.
when she was
Yes.
talking to Aaliyah, like, and you know he fine.
You
And then
know he
D'Angelo
fine.
kissed her on her
Kissed
shoulder.
her shoulder.
First of all, the
Bitch.
fact that she ever was
Peeper would
interested.
have been. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
That is,
I'm gonna cut that.
You don't have
actually,
to.
no, I'm not. My pager would have been beeping. If he would have kissed my... Actually, there will be no Devil's Pie performance today because we're leaving.
That's so funny. That's so funny. Yeah, that the 2000s was a different time. And shout out to Beyonce for experiencing that. Lord knows we all wish that 19-year-old us could have at some point, because that's a different type of
Talk about a sexual experience. Yeah.
Well,
God bless. God bless him.
God bless him. So may you have safe travels, King.
Yes.
As you
thank you so much.
Go on to glory.
For the gift. For sharing that, right? You could have stayed. You could have been Sammy, or not Sammy. You could have stayed in the church.
I feel
Sammy.
Like he was Sammy. He was Sammy.
But you could have stayed in the church with your preacher daddy,
your daddy and your granddaddy. You could have stayed on the minister of music and been on the keys.
And you chose to make music for us.
Yes.
And I am so grateful
that you shared the gift that God gave you with all of us. Thank you for your gift.
We will continue to speak your name, sir.
Yes, I'm going to introduce you to as many of the progeny that I have to meet in this lifetime. My children, my grandchildren, they will all know the music that is D'Angelo.
Yes. I made it through. I didn't cry too bad.
Yeah, I'm proud of you.
Woo, girl. Okay. Yeah. Thank y'all for rocking with us. I know this was a little lengthy, but we had a lot to talk about. We had a lot to catch up with.
It's been a long time.
It's been it's been 5 weeks. So we hope y'all appreciate all this discourse. But since we gave D'Angelo Fine Nigga of the Year, period, we are going to jump right into the main stage. And we'll check y'all out over there with our very, very special guests.
Welcome to the main stage. If you are still under the sound of my voice, you have joined us for the Bridges and Breakdown segment. Today, we are joined by two incredibly special guests. This season, we've been talking about all things curiosity, staying curious, the intersection of your curiosity and sometimes mistakes, but how that can really fortify you in your life and create a fun, new, insightful reality. So today we are joined by two highly esteemed guests. If you're looking at the visuals, you see we're already coordinating, because that's what we do. Lorryn, I will give it to you. Please introduce the first guest we have today.
Our first guest, since you don't know her name yet, this is the young lady with the glasses on that kind of looks like me. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't know by now, that's my mama. We are a family of nicknames, and one of my favorite nicknames that she actually just reminded me of last week is Fawn. Her actual name is Dawn. But when she would get tired of us calling her mommy, she would tell us to call her Fawn. And Fawn was like her evil alter ego. And she would do stuff and she'd be like, that was Fawn. That wasn't me. That wasn't me. So yeah. She's just a character, but these days I love to call her the Evangelist of Chaos, or EOC for short. She loves herself some Jesus and some mess. And that is absolutely one of my favorite things about her. She is quite hilarious, which I'm sure you will see soon. Hailing from the Wild Hunnets of Chicago. You know what I'm saying? She went to school for chemical engineering. But for the last 20 years or so, she's been an OBGYN. Can I curse? Yeah. An OBGYN. She's an old bitch getting young niggas. For real. I don't know. We might be able to talk about it, or I might just have to save that for another day. But just know I get the pawpaws. My mom gets all the people that are my age. I don't really know what that's about. But she's an awesome Mana and G my Betty to all my babies, and also one of my best friends now that I'm grown, because she does not believe in parents having best friends and children. Without further ado,
Give it up for
give
Dawn
it up,
P.
give it up for Dawn P.
Welcome to the main stage. And then the other lovely woman you see who has my face and I have on her shirt, that is none other than Lorna Dill, Demita, to those who love her, the prayer ministry disciple, Brainerd Park's finest, the 5-foot assassin, don't start none, won't be none, the education supreme, Dylan and Aiden's Mimi, my beloved mother. Welcome to the main stage, ladies.
Oh my gosh, this is so exciting.
We are very excited to have our mamas to join us for the season finale of this season. And Lorryn is going to start us off because every guest, no matter if you birthed us or not, you get jumped into this show. And we have a lovely segment called Break the Ice, Not the Bridge, to get the guests a little bit more comfortable behind the mic. Because this is, a little bit, it can be a little bit difficult to adjust. So we want to get your lips bumping and get you a little bit more comfortable for all these questions we're going to ask in the conversation. So what is our icebreaker this week? Yes. Go ahead, bro.
Our icebreaker is a little bit interactive since it's 4 of us. What I want, and I need you all to listen because when we had another guest, she didn't listen, and then her and Alyzza did their own thing. You know how I feel about my icebreakers. All right, so for Miss Dill, you're gonna give your favorite memory of me. Mom, you'll give your favorite memory of Lisa. Lisa, vice versa, me. I'll give mine to Miss Dill. I will
You
go.
can start us off.
You want me to start off?
Yeah,
Okay.
start us off.
All right. So, y'all know I have problems just choosing one, but I will say, okay. So when I first met like the Deals as an institution, right? I was like told all these great things and like, oh yeah, I went up to this huge house and I'm like, oh my gosh, they're so cool. Like, and they were just very nice family, very church going, all that stuff. And don't get me wrong, but I just felt very stately. But I remember one time we were going to volunteer with Miss Dill at a location, and we was riding by, and he was like, "See that little boy over there? He'll steal sugar from a cookie." And then I was like, I was hollering because to that point I didn't even know she could go like that.
She's
And
crazy.
I that's one of my favorite phrases. I love when I have an opportunity to use it, and I got that from Mrs. Dill. And
That is so
then
funny.
it's crazy. And then the other one, which I won't go too deep into it, but on Lizzie's first baby shower, we did a pandemic one.
Oh yeah.
And I was here in Chicago, and my boyfriend at the time, even though I don't have a type, but my boyfriend at the time did look like a previous
Oh my
partner.
goodness.
And like the baby shower had ended, and like he wasn't on the call initially, but he like popped on like towards the middle, and then at the very end, Miss Dill was like, oh. I was like, she's like, it's and I was like, oh, damn it, darn it. But yeah, so that was really funny because she was looking horrified, and I was like, Miss Dill, what's going on? And yeah, she just thought like I had amnesia or something. Yeah, something. But the pure horror was.
It was sincere.
It
That's
was.
so funny.
I
Yeah, my
felt
I
mother
want
was.
to keep you safe. I want to make sure you're safe.
That's
Mark
real.
safe.
That's right. That's so funny. Oh my God. Okay, I will now go to one of my favorite. There's so many. Again, we've been friends for the longest. But I will say, when you gave me the prompt, the one that came to mind was the night before my wedding. Dawn P. She came to stay with me for a little bit in my bridal suite. We just had like a real low key, like she had dinner. We just like ordered in, and she just kind of spent time, and that was just like so special. I just had such a good time. I'm like so touched. I'm like, yeah, it was just very good. You have such a calming and a quiet spirit. So, but you're like very funny and shenanigans afoot, but that's what makes it feel very grounding. So it felt like just like I was my teenage self, just having like a regular evening. And so that's one of my most like fond, cherished memories of just spending time.
So sweet. So sweet.
Am I going yet?
I have sweet ones too, Miss Dill. I'm sorry.
That's okay. No. That's fine.
Okay, yes, Miss Dill, you can go next.
Because it's now time. I'm gonna flip the pancake. And so my most favorable, memorable time with Lorryn was, and I don't know if you even remember this, but we took a trip to Memphis together.
Mm-hmm.
I think you guys were like 15, 16, maybe even younger than that. And Alyzza's grandmother is so obsessive with her. She's like, house. She got I was like, yes. And she is the sweetest girl you will ever meet. She said, okay, okay. And before the trip was over, it was like Lorryn was Mama Gray's baby. I just remember that, and I appreciate Dawn, letting her go out of town with us. I don't even remember if it was spring break. I know when we came back, we stopped at a couple universities, coming back from through the South and downstate at University of Illinois, but just being mindful that your mom trusted you to go with us out of town, and that Alyzza's obsessive grandmother was like, oh, I won't be able to spend time with her, but then she was able to spend time with both of you all. So it was just very touching, and it was, if I can imagine something, it would be a piece of a puzzle where you just right in.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That's sweet. Beautiful. Yeah.
That's why I should have went last. I could have augmented so I could say all. Okay, anyway, go ahead, Mom. Go ahead. Everybody else sounds wonderful. Join in.
Okay, well, I'll stay in your spirit.
Okay, ELC.
Chaos. I love it.
Yeah. Chaos. So, Lazy. I was not there for this memory, but I was told about it. And because it gave the same energy that I was feeling about this person,
Okay.
I think you may have run across them on the subway or something in DC.
Oh,
DC, yes. And a certain someone from your high school days
yeah.
that, has left a bitter taste in my mouth.
Yes.
You gave him the same energy that I would have given.
Period.
So that's one of my fondest memories of you.
I love it. I love it. We stand on business over here at Bridges and Breakdowns.
Big business.
Yes.
I love that. Well, wonderful.
So you see where Lorryn gets it from. We teeter on the edge of chaos quite a bit.
I love that. Oh man. All right, Ann. What's next for us? Now that they've kind of gotten used to to speaking a little bit on the record.
Now we're about to do my favorite segment, and Lisa's too, because she loves to tell me somebody look like a rat. It is the I Love Men segment.
They didn't know they was gonna be on this segment. Chat. They did not know that they was about to be.
They did not know.
They didn't.
For those of you who are new here, this is Lorryn, the resident fine nigga anthropologist. I love looking at beautiful men, so much so I have started a very long list of all the beautiful men that I come across in real life, television, and I don't know, books. I started adding book boyfriends now too. But
it's the ADHD chat. That's really what it is.
It really is. So much makes sense about my life now. But anywho, so typically what we'll do is that I pick a guy randomly, which I did pick him randomly. And if I did not, I wanted to honor our roots. Initially, I was going to pick Denzel Washington, but I was like, no, that's too on the nose. That's too on the nose. So picked him at random. We have a group chat, all of us together. I'm going to submit his pictures, and then everybody will give their rating 1 through 10, like Keith Lee.
I tried it. I got it. I tried it. Let's rate it. 1 through 10.
1 through 10. Okay. Now, what I will say is that he's fine. So go ahead and prepare to agree with me. All right.
You say this every week.
Is everybody ready?
I'm ready to.
Yes.
I'm
the
born
fine
ready.
nigga of the day is.
Look at my mama's face. Right? She's already like, who are you about to send into this group chat?
Quentin Folks.
Nobody knows who this is.
Okay, so what had happened was while I'm working, he is the former principal deputy campaign manager for MVP and Tim Walz. He is also the former campaign manager for Raphael Warnock and the former deputy campaign manager for J.B. Pritzker and Joe Byron.
I hate when you say his name like that. Joseph Robinette. Lord Jesus. First of all, not you putting like we in DC and you putting these political people in the chat. Now I might actually know this man in real life and you sitting here having me rate him.
So
that
the reason
is
why I
funny.
kept it because if you do know him, put me on. Respectfully. I did not see no ring in his pictures. I mean, he could not be, into
Lorryn.
women, but if he is,
Yeah, it doesn't matter. We're really agnostic over here. It don't matter because we are women's rights and women's wrongs. So we're objectifying men. It don't matter if you like women or not, bro. You're about to get raided.
And if we keep going to Gilead, I will absolutely be your beard. But I do have some terms and conditions. Okay, anyway, he's beautiful. Y'all see his nose? Oh my gosh, I just think he's gorgeous.
I'm gonna let your mama do the honors of going first to rate your shenanigans because
I didn't even do that much shenanigans. I just dropped the pictures because
No, the commentary was shenanigans.
big time.
I mean, he looks different kind of on each of these pictures.
This what she do every week, Dawn P. This what she do.
I tried to give y'all full range so y'all can see how he look.
Okay. Well, can I rate each picture?
Oh, we
ain't got
you
no
gotta
time
give
for
the
that.
whole package. Just
The first one. That's what he looked like. Actually, you know what? The second picture, the first one, that's like his professional picture. But the second one is more like what I saw. I saw him on he was commentating on a news program. And I said, wait a minute, I had to pause the television program. I was like, who is that? But yeah, I ain't never seen him before.
So the first picture, I'm going to say the first picture and then I'm going to give an average.
Okay.
So the first picture, I would give an 8.
I'll save my commentary to the end. All right.
You're never satisfied.
And then on average,
10.
A 7.
Oh, come on. Y'all, I can't win. I think this man is very handsome. If I had to...
He is very handsome.
I think
but you said fine.
I think he's fine. I use that interchangeably. So then we're not going to talk about what's the problem because this could be your future son-in-law. Okay.
That's so funny. All right, mama. So if Lorryn came home with this gentleman, what would be your assessment? Would you be like, oh, this is a hit. You could do better than this. Like, what are we giving? What is it giving?
Start off by saying
he's already in hell.
He's a beautiful black man. I'm going to say that. However, I would give him a 6 out of 10.
Oh, oh yes, that's my mama.
Can I qualify that?
Sure,
yes,
ma'am.
Please.
He just has features that rub me as if maybe I'm not into women. I don't know.
Well, he very well might not be.
And I hate saying that because that's like judgy, and I'm not trying to be judgy, but the muscles hanging out the suit coat, and not to say because he could be a fitness buff or something. Even in his headshot.
Oh, mama, that's just like how the young dudes dress now. Their jackets be tight. That ain't got nothing to do with nobody's sexuality. Yeah, they be fitted. It's just boomer men have the sports coats that be real baggy. I feel like we should have the suit guy on next season to talk about it dress.
Right.
But yeah, no. Independent of whether he actually is interested in women, men, ladies, ladies, the third, don't matter. What he's like, as he's a 6 to you, okay.
6.
Oh my gosh, y'all are grading harshly. Come on, Alyzza.
I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna split the middle. He's getting a strong 6.5 for me.
Okay. All right, Chad. I'm gonna put up 2 pictures. I'm gonna put up the first one and the one that is most recent. I'm actually gonna find the clip.
Look, I didn't check my LinkedIn to see if we have any mutuals. So to make sure I don't know this man. So
but hopefully you do.
God
because
bless I know I do have one mutual friend actually, but God bless this man and his work. The Democratic Party needs all the help it can get. My God, on today. So
for sure.
Yes, we go up for the Black Kings over here, but
especially ones that look like him.
Oh my goodness, I love that. Well, I will try to find him, Fran, so that you can J down.
Thank you.
Moving right along. Now that we've kind of hit y'all with the okey doke, we're gonna get into the main topics we wanted to talk about today. All of the things adulting, our relationships as mother daughter, your relationships with yourselves as boomer women who came of age at a very particular time, having the transition from motherhood of like young children to mothering adults, all of the things. But first, just so that people can get a little sense about how you all perceive yourselves and to get a little to know you a little bit better, we had a question that we kind of asked you all in preparation for the show today. We'll start with you, Don P. Who would you say is the television or film mom who you most identify with? Like, who do you see yourself mostly in? Like a pop culture version of moms that we've seen.
That's a really good question.
Yeah, who best reflects it all?
So I was thinking there were parts of I don't know the name, and it's not really okay. Forever? Did you the limited series Forever?
Oh yes! Oh my God, Mara Brock Akil's show.
Yes.
Yes.
So
On
I feel
Netflix.
like
Yes.
I understood his mom, but she was a little too extra. But I understood her. There were sometimes I was like, yes. And then there were sometimes like, you going too hard, you know. And then I feel like, you know, maybe a little Claire Huxtable, not the money,
Okay.
but just approach. And then I was trying to think of a mom that might have been a little, you know, grittier, but I couldn't think of one. White.
Did you have one, Lorryn, that you had in mind to fit in the blank that your mom is trying to identify?
Yeah, and I could say yay or nay.
She probably won't agree. It's a toss up. So initially I had said Tasha Mack from the game. But listen,
I don't know her, so I can't make a judgment.
all right.
Okay.
Well, she's a wild card.
Okay.
But she rides for her son. She's always in the business. Now, he didn't like it. You know what I mean? Like, we got a good enough relationship. But, like, for those of you who don't know, my mom is one of the producers on the show. So, like, she rides for me like Tasha Mack. And when she need to, she will check somebody. And the other one, which I feel like you're a mixture, because I agree with you. I had Claire Huxtable as like who you were from birth till like college. And then I would say a mixture of Tasha Mack and then Esther, who is Hattie on 20s, her mama. Kim Whitley.
Oh, that's so funny. Shout out to JoJo. Shout out to Janika. Friend to the show.
Bring 20s back.
Girl,
but yeah.
JoJo done said 20s, Hattie damn near 40 at this point. Okay, so 20s is done. God bless.
That makes me sad. I love that show. But yeah, Kim Whitley, even though I do think y'all kind of look favored, but like her character, she didn't like fully understand everything that Hattie was going through, but she loved her and she was like helping her out. And then she was like, I remember one time she's like, okay, I got this connect for you or whatever. And Hattie was like, cool. She's like, you need anything else? And she was like, I could use a couple dollars or something. And then all you heard was like static. That reminded me of like something that, you know, happened to me and you. So yeah, that I would say, yeah, because my mom, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got you. All right. Mother, dearest, who do you say? Who is like the television or movie version that best reflects who you are and why?
I didn't know we were picking two, so I picked one. But then when you, as you always,
just one is good. One is good.
Another one came to mind. So I would say I feel like I connected most with the mother in Blackish, Bo Johnson.
Okay.
Because, you know, because she worked, but she had time for her kids. She, you she was in and out of the house, you didn't forget your pencils, did you? They call and I forgot my lunch or I forgot my pencil. Well, I have to be at work and this is, gonna take me time to get to your school to drop things off. And I just had that connection because that's what my kids do. So that's one. And then if anybody knows Wakalana Blues,
Oh, yeah.
nanny who took care of the neighborhood, who made sure
I
that
could see that.
community was straight.
Yeah.
Even today, now I'm always in the window, like watching the block, making sure everything's
She
straight.
neighborhood watch for sure. Yeah.
I am teaching kids to, do neighborhood watch. People
She be
know me.
like, girl, the people next door got a new nanny. I be like,
I know what's going on, and
you do.
There needs to be one.
yeah, Nanny, and she had the community on lock. She made
Yes.
sure the kids were good. The boxers in the community, the celebrities, weren't abusing their power and authority, and she just made sure
That's a
that
good one.
the community was straight. And I love Wakalana Blues. So
Yeah, Lackawanna Blues is such an incredible project. I wonder if HBO still has it and it's not in the vault somewhere. I might have to run that back.
It's probably on Tubi. Tubi got everything.
Here you go. That's so
really
funny.
does. It has a very robust
That's so
TV
funny.
and movie catalog.
I love that. Well, now our audience has a little bit more of a background and a context as to how our mothers perceive themselves. And we're going to dive a little bit deeper. Lorryn, you want to take us off into the first segment of talking about adulting?
Yes. Mama or moms, when you all were in high school or college, what did being an adult look like for you? And then what did you expect and how did that compare to now? Now that you're all grown up and can reflect on that.
Whoever wants to go first. Yeah, go ahead, jump in.
So just thinking about adulting as a preteen, teenager, young adult.
In the 70s and 80s, yeah.
Yes, it was more so. It wasn't like I think your question that you sent us was prepping about dreaming about adulthood, and from my perspective, it never was a dream. You lived that life. You helped with your nieces and nephews. You helped take care of the elders in the community. I used to have to go grocery shopping for my dad's godmother once a week, and just the adulting was, I'm not gonna say it was thrust upon us, but it was just baked in a cake. You don't have to think about it because you jump into it headlong to make sure that your community is good. And so I think that, like I said, babysitting, taking care of the elders, house, cleaning the house, Saturday morning, get up and clean the house. I didn't start working till I was like 16. And then when I started working with kids at, summer camp. So and then taking that money and saving it. Like I got to go to university one day.
Yeah.
Save money for school. And then once I got in university, I worked, part-time with the city, saving money to make sure that I had a car to get back and forth to school and get to work. So it was, it was never a dream. It was always an ocean.
Yeah.
Things happen. So.
That responsibility was never, you don't have like a counterfactual, like you don't even remember not having to be responsible. Like you just kind of were born doing. Was that your experience, Dawn P?
Yes and no. So I will say that, like, probably before high school, probably around 11, I can remember like really being excited to be 16, right? So that seemed old to me. So that was like the dream. Like, oh, I just can't wait to be 16. I could wear lip gloss or whatever. And then I guess to the extent that, as Lorna was saying that, you just were doing things that I never really thought about my life going to be so much different necessarily as an adult because, like you said, I babysat. My grandmother came and lived with us before she passed for about a year or so, and so I was spending time with her. Like if she wanted to go to the store, we walk with her to the store, babysit neighborhood kids and family friends kids. Started working young. but mainly for the things that I wanted,
Yeah.
hair, nails, shoes, those things. Um, so got a taste of adulting already. I was a saver, because one of my jobs, look, I sound like I'm Jamaican, but one of my jobs was working at a bank. So, but I had a bank account even before I worked at the bank. But yeah, it was always my plan to go to college. So I also had to work through college as well, work in the summers to save money. Um, yeah, so I guess, I felt like all the ages above 16 were old, period. Like, you were just old. And it kind of tickles me because I remember one time Lauren maybe was 17 and she was like, this old man tried to talk to me, and I was like, "Oh, how old was he? How old?" She said, "He looked about 25." And I was like, "Okay, yeah."
That's so
So I
funny.
remember that though, because
Now, when
when
I
you're
said old
young,
man and I was little, I meant old. It was like a 60-year-old nigga at the Great American Bagel. And I was like, let's go.
well, right, that's what I was thinking, but she said 25, and I was like,
It's funny.
"Okay." I laughed, but then I remembered at that age, I used to think anybody, over 16, 18 years old was old.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew the childhood consent laws. I knew he was old to me by law.
That's so
I
funny.
said, "Hey, you old dirty man."
Leave me alone.
That's really funny because I don't think that, like, I distinctly, now granted, could be a little ADHD. I also feel like it's because we had the internet. Like, we had a lot more spoils that you all just didn't have, because I distinctly remember, like, when I become an adult, I'm gonna eat my dessert first. That was one of the things I wanted to do as an adult, and I do it now. I couldn't wait to curse people out. Like, I had a list of stuff that I wanted to do as an adult. So this is very interesting. Yeah. And
No,
I had like real jobs, but I didn't have to do the same thing. So I think that's where it kind of may be different.
but it also makes sense because that went into the rearing of us. And like, it was interesting to hear y'all talk about the responsibility being like baked into the cake, and you all poured that into us, but in a different way. And we'll get to that. We have a question about that later. Because some of that's out of like necessity. And it's like you all were able to channel that in different ways with how you all reared us. And I don't know how ubiquitous that is for millennials who like how we were raised, if we were raised in that similar way. But I do want to give you all I'm curious to know about if there are any fears you all had back then, like when you all were growing up. What was, if any, the biggest fear you had about when I'm an adult, I'm really not looking forward to this. This is scary.
I think the
So,
challenge of motherhood. I was always thinking about, like, watching other people's kids and taking care of other people's children, but having your own kids and doing right by them and making sure that they had not necessarily the things that I didn't have, but they had a fair chance at opportunities that I might have missed. So I think it's more so about opportunities rather than materialistic things, if that
Okay.
makes sense. And just making sure that as a mom, you know, but I always wanted to be a mother, so hey.
Yeah, that's so interesting that you was afraid to, like, that you felt that deeply about it or had so much respect and reverence for it that you were afraid of it. A lot of people just like passively enter motherhood without much intention. So that says a lot about how you were as a kid to be like, oh, this is serious. Yeah. What about you, Don P?
So for me, it was a mix of stuff, right? So one, my parents divorced when I was about 8, 7 or 8, something like that. And so one of the things that I knew, and we still marvel at this today, my siblings and I, how, you know, my dad paid child support. My mom hadn't really worked full time until she got divorced, right? But we had breakfast, lunch, and dinner, right? And she worked a split shift so she could cook for us and stuff like that. I was not that kind of mom. Let's just get that clear. But and we didn't feel like we wanted anything. I think the first time that I really felt like I wanted stuff was when I started working at about 15, in terms of, oh, I wanted to get my nails done, or I wanted to get my hair done, or I wanted an extra pair of shoes, so that's why I went to work. But I never felt like I was missing anything or I lacked anything. But I knew my mom did not have a career, right? She worked a job. So my dream, I guess, was to have a career. So I was very intentional about my education, about planning for college and having a backup plan, because initially I wanted to be a doctor. And I didn't pursue it as fully, or I didn't pursue it. I did some things in college to kind of prepare me for that, but I wanted money. So I went I went the quick money route and just went to engineering. But so that was one aspect of it. The other piece of it was that, and my thinking about this has changed tremendously since I have become an adult, have had children of my own. But I felt like, my mom was 33 when she had me. Yes. And I was like, oh my God, I cannot have kids at 33. Right. Because I just felt like the gap was so huge. And now my advice to young women in particular, but young people in general, don't even get married till you're 29, and then you think about having kids, but because you need to, and this is probably getting too much into my philosophy, but it's just, you need to live life, experience it as an adult on your own, um, before partnering with someone, and then also before bringing kids into the world. To me, having done all those things. But yeah, so it was a little bit different. It was a mix of the kids. I always wanted to be a mom, and I wanted it so bad. I was like, ooh, but 18 is too young because I still need to go to college. So it was like I got to be able to take care of these kids, if I had them. So, but yeah, but now I say there's no rush in having kids. Um, you know, and now there's all kind of things, and as we learned in a previous episode, there's all kind of options for young women
Yeah.
and young married couples to plan when they have children. So yeah,
Okay.
enjoy yourself, take your time, become a full adult.
Yeah. That's interesting that was the fear, like not having a career to ground
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah,
And
Thank
being an
y'all.
old mama.
yeah.
Okay, interesting. Very interesting. All right. So for each of you all, how did your expectations? Now I know that y'all kind of were like, we just knew we had to be an adult, but how did your expectation of adult life differ from your mother's? So like mom, you kind of already talked about, you knew you wanted a career, not a job. So that's an expectation that I know that you have yourself that was different, but were there any others for you all like that your moms had to do, but you all
Yeah, just
you were like,
generationally,
I
like
feel
things
like
they
I'll do
had to
it.
do. Yeah, exactly.
So I can say that my parents divorced too, but not really early on. I think I was like going into my teenage years. And so the financial aspect was not strenuous because my mom is a go-getter. It's like she's always worked and always
She a
like,
hustler. That lady
yep,
works.
yeah, work, whatever. And so that was not, money wasn't the issue, but I think that the time she spent away from the home
Yeah.
made me feel lacking from like the time we could have spent together, the quality time we could have spent together. And I know when she retired, everybody had their little speeches, whatever. And I just remember reminiscing about the question
Oh.
I would always ask my mom when she would call from work, Mom, are you coming home? So it's like always, I mean, literally, she would live at the job. Like she would work 24 hours, like straight. They would give her like a few minutes to get her something. I mean, an hour or two to get lunch in between shifts or whatever. But she just would work. She was a workaholic. And so, like, are you coming home? Mom, are you coming home? And so just knowing that I did not want to be that mother, but I also knew I wanted to have a career as well. So
Yeah.
having a balance of being at home, spending quality time with your children, making sure your husband's taken care of in the, the best way that I could take care of him and the children, just the home life balance and work life balance. So it was like juggling a lot of balls, but also being stealth enough to know when I needed to put some down. So
Well, that's rich. That is very insightful. Thank you, Mom, for sharing that.
Yeah, that's beautiful. So my mom, like I said, she worked part-time up until her divorce. And she ended up, when she worked full-time, going to work for the Bell Systems telephone company. She was a 411 operator, I think, or one of those. But so she was able to work a split shift. And so when I said we had breakfast, lunch, and dinner, she would wake up in the morning, she would fix our breakfast, wrap the plates with wax paper, put them in the oven, and she would go to work, let's just say from 8 to 12. Now, when we were too young, we would go to the babysitters because school let out in the middle of the day back in those days for lunch, right? Because the moms weren't technically supposed to be working, I guess. So we had to go to the babysitter, and she would have lunch for us. And then we go back to school. But in the meantime, my mom would be in her split shift. She would come home, she would cook dinner, bake a cake, and again, dinner would be on the stove ready for us when we got in from school.
Wow.
So, and then she felt like doing laundry was therapeutic. She loved doing laundry. She did my laundry up until I was in college. I mean, even while I was in college, I come home from the weekends I went to school in state, but uh in Chicago, but I stayed in the dorms. I come home from the weekend and drop my laundry bag, but I wasn't expecting her to wash it. At least not the first time, but then afterward. But I would come in after hanging out with my girls or something, and everything was washed, folded, and back in the bag for me to take back to school. And I mean, I'm sorry that I was not that mother to my kid, but that was just not, she did not pass that gene down to me. I made sure they ate. I was not baking cakes. And as soon as they were old enough to turn a dial, plug in the iron, well, I didn't even force the iron. Lauren just shook her stuff out. Randy was very particular about ironing his clothes, but yeah, they were going to know how to take care of themselves.
I think that is so interesting because y'all had very different directions of answers. That is so, and I think that just speaks to like how rich and how diverse. There isn't a monolith, even generationally. Of like what your mother's expectations were, what they poured into y'all, and what y'all took from that. Like y'all went different directions in like equally relevant and valid ways, but that is rich.
And I think just, from observation, being a former teacher, and that is seen as more of like a womanly position. So they expect for you to like want to go see your kids or like do things for your kids. Whereas my mom was an engineer and like one of the only ladies. And, did they even have a lactation room? Like there was just so much that she had to just be like, all right, I'm not a woman here. I am a worker. And so they just didn't really care about like, all the men had wives. So it's like, whatever you got to do it so you can be here, you can be present. Yeah. And a lot of that came with, little Lauren being 9, hopping up on the washer, turning all my whites red and stuff like that. A lot of lessons learned. But I understood because, my mom was an engineer, which I thought was really cool. I didn't fully understand it initially, but like I knew that it was a male dominated field and she wasn't able to come home like other moms. I didn't understand like the patriarchy. I didn't get that, but I understood that like she worked in a more male driven industry. So she did not have the same I won't even say, because it's not, I just think that they understand it. It's kind of built into the culture where, like, your teachers, they know that you got to leave at a certain time. They don't care about that. Yeah. So, all right. So what values from your generation did you insist on passing on that the generation before you might not have understood?
So yeah, think about, and it may be an example of like something that you personally as a boomer and your experiences growing up in your time, that you were like, I'm going to instill this in my kids, that your mom and your grandpa, like that the people who raised you, like your parents, your grandparents, your community, your village might not have at the time had a similar value or understood why it would be important for you to teach your kids this thing.
Like wearing pants or something.
We could this can go any direction, whether it's values culturally, like with the church or with work or as a woman, something you were like, this is really important for me to teach my daughter, but it's not something that my grandmother or my aunts or my community would value. Things like that.
I think that growing up, and I don't know if Dawn can attest to it or not, but in our day and age, I remember children were seen and not heard. And so I knew I wanted my children to have a voice. So I purposely took you all out to breakfast, and we sat at tables and we talked and I asked questions. We went to lunch or dinner, and early dinners after school. I would say, let's skip school today, and go to the museum or whatever.
Yeah.
I wanted you all to be empowered. I wanted my children to be able to express themselves, to have a voice, and I don't know, want to necessarily say that I didn't have a voice, but I didn't have a voice. So not like just say what you feel and your parents would not be offended by it or take exception to it. But I think I knew that I wanted, because of the environments that I knew that you probably would be in, you had to have a voice.
That's right.
You had to be bold. Yeah, go ahead.
And it's not, no, just to say, it's not from a place of judgment. I don't think I qualified that. Not to say that like you are judging that your village or your family did not see the value in this, because they have their own context and reason as to how and why children were seen and not heard in the 60s as first generation, Black people coming from the Delta, Mississippi, right? Like their upbringing might have been, it did inform how they raised y'all and their expectations. So I just wanted to make sure that you all didn't think that we were saying they didn't want you to do this and how dare they and look at them and like from a place of judgment, just from a place of curiosity, like that was something that they didn't necessarily understand, but you had your own reasons and like you had
I
your
want to
own.
make sure that, it was opposite. I want to make sure that you were seen and heard. And and I guess too, my parents had like associate's degrees that they didn't go all the way through university to get a bachelor's degree. But when you take those sociology classes and those psychology classes, you're like, okay, kids are supposed to be heard.
Education,
right?
Yeah.
are humans. That is the soundbite. Children are humans. They're people.
Yeah, and I love spicy kids. I've always loved
I
spicy
mean, you're in
kids.
education like I said, education supreme. You've gotten all of your degrees almost terminally, in education. So you have a passion for making sure children are empowered and seen and educated. So, well, you raised some spicy kids and you have spicy grandchildren. So the brand is strong. You did your thing, girl.
Yeah, and church. You said something that I
Oh yeah,
wanted.
even
Make sure that cake is there. You know what you say. We're not missing any recipes. The kids, raise your children to have a strong belief and a foundation. So when other things come, they still have, something to fall back on. Going to church and making.
Well, she took that question two ways, because I feel like you're not saying that that's something your previous generation didn't. That they weren't against that. That was right. That was something that you wanted to make sure you included. Okay.
Roll over. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I would say one of the things I agree with the seen and not heard, and also where, secrets, right? Like, especially when it came to health, you didn't get a lot of background, especially as kids. And it didn't even have to be, I mean, but I felt like I was about 21 and my mom's aunt was diagnosed with cancer, but
Mm-hmm.
she would not let my mom tell us what it was, and I was just like, and as a woman, I'm like, we need to know. I mean, just like men need to know their health history
Yes.
within the family. But that was the thing where, the generation, at least the generation before my mom, would
Mhm.
not
Mm-hmm.
tell what was wrong with them. And I
Mm.
just was like, that was weird. So that definitely judgment, but also not passing that along. Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's important. That's a very
It's
heavy
very
in these
important,
times.
very
You need to
important.
know your family history because that means you might need to be going to get screened for things earlier than
Mhm.
what
Right.
is the norm
Absolutely.
for the general
Mm-hmm.
population. If you are
Right.
Yep.
at risk for breast cancer, girl, you don't need to wait to 40 for your first mammogram.
And especially
Mm-hmm.
in the Black community,
Yes.
we need to know,
Yes,
because
absolutely.
one thing, we're not always part of the research and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's something that runs in your family, that's information that you need to be able to share with your physician
Yep.
when you're talking. But the other thing I would say would be, you know, from our parents' generations, like if you had a good job, you stayed at that good job.
Yes, yes.
And no more. That was something I
Yeah.
was not. I mean, I think from the time that I even started talking to my kids, which was probably in, I'm gonna say high school. I'm gonna say high school, but I was talking to them about college and everything in grammar school.
Mm-hmm.
But in high school, I told them that you don't plan to stay on a job 40 years, or 30 years. That is a no-no. You should be looking to move, every 5 to 7 years, in order to advance your career. And it's okay if you decide to switch it, because even if you start out doing one thing and you do a pivot to do something else, no problem with that. So I
Yeah.
just wanted to kind of um, erase the notion that, uh, if all else fails, get you nothing wrong with government jobs, but get you, the
Shoot.
job at the post office
God
or get
bless the
you.
feds who are furloughed right
Mm-hmm.
now.
Yeah,
God
Right.
bless y'all.
but
Mm-hmm.
again, you just want to put yourself in a position that you're able to pivot,
Mhm.
whether
Yeah.
it's by necessity or by desire.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. And I agree with that. You heavy on that. Even now, at my big age and in my fourth life, I think I'm on my my fourth life now. Yeah, my mom's just like, yeah. I mean, you could do this, or you could do something completely different that you've never done, but you've always been
Yeah.
interested in. It's like, whoa, I need stability. And she's like,
Mhm.
no, you can do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
And
And the
I
thing
love
about
that.
Lorna, what you were saying about kids having a voice is so true because, again, a precursor to Lauren becoming an attorney was when she made a case. And I think I mentioned this before, but she made a case for me to allow her to have a boy call her. Like, I mean, an argument, right? And I could not, she could not be denied because her case was very strong.
Oh my goodness. Not my mama. She'd be like, because I said no.
No, right.
No, because
Uh-uh.
the thing about it, and really the main thing, but I was very proud of her for making the case, feeling
Yeah.
like she had grounds to make a case and comfortable enough to try to make it, right? But the thing about it is she didn't even have to ask because I was working, right? So I
No,
wouldn't have
that's
known.
true.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's true.
So but so yeah, so again, it's important for kids to feel comfortable even though even though in my mind I thought, I was cultivating this really good relationship for us to talk about. And I mean, I understand because, well, I definitely didn't tell my mom everything, but you know, then they're not going to tell us everything as parents,
Right.
but
Mhm.
do want them to feel like it's safe to say something,
Yeah.
Yes.
you know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well,
That's
that
a callback to her being Claire Huxtable. I was
Mhm.
not going to be big fun with the wretched and in trouble. So there were some things I was like, yeah, I have to ask. And yeah, I don't know. I was very passionate. I wonder what he doing now.
Oh God.
You see
Um,
why she is the anthropologist that she is,
Fine.
right?
Yes, I know, girl.
Yes,
She was
yes.
born this way. This has
She
been
was
this has been
born
in
this
you.
way. But
that's why I'm an advocate for LGBTQ, because I was born this way, okay? And if
Yes.
you say that you're gay or anything, I understand, because I feel like for as long as I can remember, I have liked men. Even as a little girl with no idea about sex or anything, I just was drawn to them biologically. It was
That is
something
so
on the
funny.
inside. So yeah,
She's a feral cat. That's what she is.
now see,
That's all
you
right.
getting nasty. I was just talking about
Anyway,
evolutionally there was
that is
anyway,
so funny.
yeah.
That but that's a great segue. The last question we had around like parenting then versus now is if you can think back to when you were a young mother, so when we were smaller children, if how you navigated responding to any peer pressure or social change, like when it came to raising us, because I do recognize that that isn't even always just from like friends, but like the pressure from familial expectations, peers at work, peers in friend groups, peers at church, just social expectations of like how you should have choices you should have made as mothers and how you navigated that. And thinking about that same pressure now for like this new generation of mothers. So, two-part question. If you can just think about if you have anything that came to mind that just felt triggered by me asking that. I'm curious if you can talk a little bit about how you navigated it and what you're observing now about the pressures for this current generation of millennial moms.
I can go. I'm thinking about two things. One is that I never felt the pressure to compete with other moms based on their expectations of their children, because I had this roadmap for my kids, and it was like that's all
Hmm.
I saw. I
Hmm.
knew where I wanted mines to go and what I wanted mines to be. So I didn't, feel like I needed to compete with any other moms or families. And I guess I'm just a firm believer is you end up where you're supposed to be eventually.
Hmm.
Even for your children's sake, you want them to grow and maybe go to university or get into a profession. But then you also have to feed their interests. So like with Matt and his marine biology and Alyzza and government. So like every summer you went to government camp. I'm that. And Matt
Y'all
want to
did.
see World every summer to see where to like feed their interest. But I learned that from some Jewish coworkers. And I was a young teacher, 20.
Hmm.
Like, oh yeah, give them what they need to be successful. Hey, say no more. But then I was also thinking about this new generation and this gentle parenting. I'm like, why would you be gentle about it? Go sit down. It's like, oh, do you want to sit down or do you want to stand up? Give kids choices, but I get it because as we're talking, it's helping me to see, and previous to this, that that's another way of giving them voice. So you're asking them questions and you're trying to get them to understand that what they want to do maybe isn't the safest thing to do right now. However, you're giving them an opportunity to not
express
necessarily
it.
banter, but have a conversation about to logically think through their choices. But I'm
Yeah.
like, you got to take the long way around the mountain. Tell them, shortcut through the mountain. So, I'm just trying to work through this gentle parenting stuff.
Well, see, I think you should reframe it. Instead of saying gentle parenting, maybe say conscious parenting, because I feel like gentle.
She said,
I think that gentle has been run through the mud, so people don't respect it for
he
what
got a
it
bad
is.
rap. It means like
Yeah,
you soft, but that's not really what people be talking about. But I get it.
I
permissive
get it, but I
parenting is
think
the
Permissive parenting is what you like. That deserves the bad rap because that's just letting your kids run amok and do whatever you want to do. But it's more like conscious parenting and like being, yeah,
what parents can be conscious and not give
give
a
them
rap.
and
choices. Yeah.
Give them wild choices. You know what I'm saying? Oh, because
I don't think that's conscious, right? Giving somebody wild choices,
Well, it's a choice. I think that because like if you say I say sit down, what other choice do you have but to sit down? Like we don't have to talk about it because you're gonna sit down. So I can understand feeling like I have to have a lecture for something that I could make you do in the old days, but now it's not necessarily acceptable.
I think so, like, because even now we go through times where we're trying to get the grands to do certain things, and it's obvious that it's for safety purposes. So it's like, I don't have time to talk to you about, why you should do something. We just gonna do it. But I get it. And conscious parenting, gentle parenting, whatever y'all want to call it.
No one's saying let your child run into the street, for the record. I don't think we're debating that safety is ever. And then we had a whole episode around like authoritative parenting versus authoritarian parenting. Yes, there are different trains of thought. And I do get the punchline of it is like, we did not parent y'all in this way. And that's fine. And I think it's just it is not a critique or a judgment. It's an evolution of like, there are things that you saw that you were like, hey, when I grow up and I'm an adult and I have my kids, this is an important value. And you're also parenting for the future. Like you're raising kids for a time. I don't want to raise a child that doesn't question authority, because that's what's happening right now with all these kids gonna be hooked up to plows in the year 2050 if they're not raised with like the chutzpah to be able to actually critically think and ask questions and push back. So you have to raise kids. They don't just show up knowing. So yeah, that's my little
That's true.
But yeah.
But similar to Lorna in regards to, being, I guess, was it envious or trying to pattern ourselves after other parents?
Oh yeah. Comparing yourself or competing was the word.
Competing.
Y'all didn't have social media, thankfully, because I imagine that, like having to look at, it gets messy.
Well, yeah. I mean, it probably would be saying, because I just think our personalities don't lend itself to that.
Right.
In general, but no competition with anyone else. Again, had the desired roadmap for the children pre-birth, and not necessarily by career or anything like that, because I wanted them to be free to choose whatever career they wanted. And similarly, try to strengthen the things that they really loved, introduce them to things they, might have been questionable about or did not love. But it was always strictly about making sure they had the best education they could have, that I could position myself to present to them. And funny thing, when, I wanted them to go to the high school they went to. And so I was trying to get into the district and, ended up building a townhome within the district that we ended in. And that was always the goal. Like from when they were little kids, that's the high school I wanted them to go to. And when we got there, I'm not sure which one of the kids, but one of them said, "Well, this car you got is not gonna hit it up in this community. You need to get a different car." And I'm like, "This car is running." you know, and I don't care where we live, this car is gonna be here until the wheels fall off, okay? You can't park that in the driveway. I mean, it was well maintained and it ran. So no, it was not a Jaguar, BMW, Mercedes, or anything like that. It was a good old Honda. And it served me well for 17 years.
It did.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you were talking about the van.
No.
And that was Randy. That wasn't me.
No. When we moved into our townhouse, I didn't have the van then.
Oh yeah, because you got rid of that without letting me say goodbye when we was in Cedar Ridge.
Oh Lord.
So no competition. No competition.
No, I think that's actually something that I noticed about both of you all, is that y'all were very serious and like there was a roadmap.
Yeah.
And like even like I was thinking because I also came up with my favorite like memory. But I remember that one summer Miss Dill was like working summer camp, and then we like went to go see Chris Brown, and we were like so close. And he was like, I saved up my summer camp, my summer school money so y'all could go. And I remember, well, it wasn't Chris Brown, it was Kanye's tour, and I think NERD opened and Rihanna.
Oh yeah.
And then Chris Brown actually was dating Rihanna at that time, and I was able to see him from the side because of how close we were.
That's
and I
so
remember
funny.
like, oh my God, Miss Dill really loves us. Like it was just such a nice thing. Like, but and it was a reward because we were good students. We, you know, we actively participated. We did what we were supposed to do.
Yeah.
And I felt like both of our mothers rewarded that either with things that we were interested in or just, and just like listening and like, cause you know, I think I talked about this on the show, but there was a time period where I wanted to be a sniper and a spy, and I went to spy camp because my mama knew that. So, you know, yeah, that's what I love most about parenting or seeing others parent is like pouring into outside of just like, yes, I mean, it's a given for me that kids should have the best education that you can possibly provide them with, but nurturing their personality and like who they are on the inside, I think I love to see that. Like when there's a vested interest, like I want my kids to have experiences. I want them to be as well-rounded as possible. So when they go into the world by themselves, they feel confident in navigating or whatever. So yeah. I love to see that. Hey y'all, how'd y'all like our special guest, the mamas? I feel like that should be their name, the mamas.
I love it. Yes.
But yeah, hey, you know, we love our mamas, obviously. But I hope that you all enjoyed the little taste, because surprise! This is actually part 1 of the season finale. We got another one coming. Yeah. Hopefully not as long, but we'll see. We don't know where the wind may blow.
We're some yappers, and so we get it honest.
Some yapper tackers. However, it's been 5 weeks, y'all, and we've been keeping track of what we want to talk about. So you're welcome. I don't know, but listen at your own leisure. Yes, because it is the season finale, so you have an infinite amount of time because we're going to go on a break. All right, so yeah, our mamas. Good job. We'll be back next time with the rest of that interview. So stay tuned, check it out. It gets funnier, especially the end. Check out the end of it.
Lord have mercy.
But yeah, but you know how we do. We like to close out with our benediction of sorts. So we're going to go right into our PS.
Yes.
And PS is please stop or please start. We are just getting something off of our chest that we would like to be instituted
for the record. Yes. You shook the camera on that one.
I did. My bad.
So funny. You meant that. Do you want to go first?
Yeah. Okay. So mine is a please stop. Okay. Actually, please start. I don't know. It could be both, depending on where you at.
Okay.
People. I'm saying people because I know all people can be on fuck shit. It's not exclusively gendered.
Okay.
However, because I am a cisgender heterosexual woman, I am talking to men right now. Okay. If you are betrothed, please do not come talking to me. Okay? I don't want no parts of that.
Yeah.
I can do complicated. I can do like, I had this situation going on. It's not anymore, but I want you to know that this is what happened. I might be a little apprehensive. I probably will take things very slow, but you must disclose the sincerity, the severity, the importance, whatever it is, that type of relationship. If you were engaged and or married, you need to let that know. You need to let the person know from the outset. Even if you do not mention any of it, that is lying by omission. And I do not trust you. It's very hard for me to be vulnerable. It's even harder for me to trust you with my heart, and like really believe that you can protect me and keep me safe. And I will never, actually, if you lie to me, especially if you lied to me in the very beginning when you don't have to, because I don't have any real attachment to you. There's nothing for you to lie. You're lying so that you can manipulate me.
You're lying for the love of the game. You're
lying for the love of the game because you think like, oh, maybe I could make this girl fall in love with me and then I'm going to spring it on her that I got a whole ass family. You thought, but no.
Yeah.
It's not cool. It shows that you don't even really, like, you got like a lack of discipline, but like your commitment to yourself but to your family.
Yeah.
That's not sexy. So once I find out, the jig is up. You can never unring that bell. So it's important to be honest.
Yes.
Because especially now, we're all, I'm a divorcee. I usually disclose on the third date because that nigga's not coming back, right? And I only really tell it because it could come up at some point. But like, there's people who don't even remember that I was married at one point. And I love it that way. I wish I could delete it from the record, but I can't. Hell yeah. So please stop lying. Please stop doubling back. Because you a goddamn fool. I know that some of the girlies be bending. I'm not one of those bitches.
Yeah, some girls don't care that somebody might be in a relationship. Yeah. But that's
I know
not you.
some don't care that they were in a relationship. And again, you should still tell them from the outset. But if somebody has made a line in the sand and basically was like, I'm cool on that, do not come back. And do especially without an apology. In multiple forms. You coming back and acting like shit sweet, be lucky, be happy that it's through the phone and not in person. Okay? So please stop bullshitting.
She would
please
throw that
stop
pin
lying.
at your head like Cardi B did at
I
down to the
check my
jailhouse.
phone. You have a knot just like she did.
That's funny.
But yeah,
that's gross. Okay.
Nah, because like, I'm like the Hulk in this bitch. I'm always angry. Don't set me off where I gotta turn green. Okay?
I love that.
Don't
line.
do that.
I'm
Don't
always
do that.
angry.
I'm always angry.
Yeah. I'm
Straight
actually just
up.
managing it. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, friend, love that. She has spoken.
Period. And now it's directed. What's up, tweet? I don't give a fuck. If you see this, leave me alone. Do not contact me again. Not contact me again.
That is funny. Be it determined that she's not playing with you hoes. All right. So my PS for this week is a please stop. In Robert F. Kennedy's America, I need for y'all to keep your infectious asses at home before we have another bubonic plague and no public health infrastructure to keep us alive. I'm live to you here as the sole survivor of a hand, foot, and mouth outbreak down to my child's daycare. How my baby is the only one who did not get touched, I don't know. I thank God for that. Favor ain't fair, as the saints say. But when I tell you it was smoke in the city and I had to go off on everybody at that daycare and the parents, because I get that you are, don't nobody want to, the inconvenience of having a child that's sick at home, it's a lot, but it is yours to bear. It is not responsible for you to bring your child to school when they still have active lesions on their hands, their feet, their mouth. I don't care how many days it's been. That is not the standard by which you are allowed to bring your child back just because it's been so many days. I went to drop my child off. Literally, it was just him and one other baby at school, patient zero, for like a whole week. It was like a little boy got sick and got the whole, and he went home like on a Wednesday. And then that weekend, everybody else dropped like flies. My baby cool. My baby was fine. We get back to school, that little boy is down fine, but all the other kids are sick. So for like a week, it was just my baby and this other little boy at school. And one day I came to drop him off and I go in the classroom and there's a third child there, still in the infectious window. And the baby has like active lesions on their face. But I guess because it had been like 5 days or 6 days or whatever, and they had a little rinky-dink doctor's note, the doctor's note needs to be implemented to the letter it is written. A note does not mean you can come back up the terms and conditions of the note that I met. So if the note says it has been this many days, when the baby has crusted over a lesion, they can come back. If I'm seeing active bumps on your baby's face, I'm not bringing my child here. So I took my kid home. I said, if y'all are not going to implement this, we're not about to introduce a whole nother infectious window period with our kid. Right. So all that to say, I went off so bad on that director down at that daycare and had her talk to the parents. They sent the whole note center-wide about implementing the policy as it was written. Because how dare y'all? And this wasn't one parent. It was 3 families who over the course of that day had brought their kid back without being completely well because they were just like, they're well enough. No, you're not about, it's inconsiderate. You're not about to bring your child to school to then infect other people because you're tired of taking care of your child at home and you have things to do. I'm sorry. That is not how this works. That is not how public safety and public health work. So I just want us to understand that we really have to be responsible and good stewards of our personal health over these next few years because the government is not trying to come save us. If anything, they're undermining health and safety at every point. So, yeah, please, before I stop you, which was what happened. Because what happened, you dropped them kids off, I went off, and then the office had to call you and say, hey, actually, come get your kid. So now your day is ruined when you could have planned the right way from jump. Because I'm not, I'll take mine home. I'm not that desperate that I need to put my kid in a dangerous situation because I got to be somewhere. That's not what responsible parents do. And moms and dads, you need to advocate for your children from the very beginning. So that is my PSA. Hand, foot, and mouth is like rampant right now. It's very bizarre. They're even having outbreaks in middle schools, which is weird because that should not be something that middle school kids are having to deal with. I don't know. It's been all up and through the elementary school circuit and in the daycares, but I thank God that my children have not been touched, have not been impacted. So for you and yours, I wish you good fortune. But until they're 100%, don't bring their little sick ass to school. Sorry,
no,
I'm not sorry.
No.
Yeah. Inconsiderate.
Well, friend, we said everything that needs to be said. Follow us if you're not following us on social media. We're Bridges Breaks Pod everywhere. Subscribe to our YouTube. Hit us up with questions. Yeah. We asked for something very specific. Funny videos, whatever. DM us. Put them in the comments of our social posts.
The name of the folks who engage, like the audience.
Oh yeah.
It was names that you have in mind.
What's the name? What's the names y'all want us to call our family?
Listeners.
Right. So. Chat. That's what we got so far, but we want something that's, a little
more
original.
alliteration.
A little more original. But Bridges in as in
Nairobi.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say Nairobi. I was trying to come up with a different country. Breakdowns with an S at gmail.com. Email us. Follow.
Like, subscribe. All of the things. And we'll catch you on the flip side. See you next week.
Peace.